Let's try this again. You okay, internet? We fine? It seems we are fine. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi Meakashi. So, the fifth chapter of 8. Fifth episode of 8? Fifth game of 8? I am not certain what's correct here, considering if it's chapter, we're doing chapter 5 of Higurashi and chapter 4 of chapter 5. Is it 4 or we at 5? We're at 5. Anyway, yeah, we're off with that. Last time, this chapter episode is from a POV of Shion, who's apparently was in a boarding school, Christian boarding school in Japan, away from the village, escaped in her first episode. We saw that it's in 1 year before Keiichi ever came to the village. She escaped. She's pretending to be Mion with Mion's permission and just kind of living in town. And she has very, very much fallen in love with Satogo's brother, who's still alive at this point, or still not disappeared. What's he called again? Satoshi. Girl has it bad. She's slowly figuring out all the stuff she's been missing, like the murders. And all the stuff going on with Satoshi and Satogo's family. So from her perspective, Satogo's kind of the brat that needs to, what's it called? That needs to have a, that needs to. Oh, someone's yelling outside. I can't concentrate. That is causing trouble for Satoshi than the other way around. Well, it's not really the other way around, but still. It's a serious situation for both of them, and she's kind of only seeing it from her crusher's side. And now got Neon to agree for her to come in class next time and pretend to be her in the morning. She's probably going to end very, very badly. And it's going to be very awkward. Let's go. Also, I'm not sure how long this will go. I'm probably only going to be able to do 3 episodes today. Well, depends on how long the episodes are. If it's like episode 1 or 2 episode lengths, maybe even episode 3. Yeah, the first 3 episodes have really long chapters from time to time. If it's like those, maybe not even 3 chapters. Yep, we'll see. President, if you would. For a moment, I forgot the class president was me. All right. Looks like you didn't get enough sleep. I know it's been very hot at night lately. But try to get as much sleep as you can. Right, everyone? Yes, ma'am? Not sure this place can be called a school. Because there are so many different age groups. It's like a kindergarten and elementary school blended together. So I already heard about it, about what this place was like. I don't feel that uncomfortable. How didn't you already know? You're gone for like 2 years. You're presumably attending this semi-school already. Oh, or did she live? Oh yeah, she lived in the main house in the city itself, Shishibone, I think it was. So maybe she went to school there. That would make sense. Wasn't too difficult to act like me on here. Asis told me Stoshi looked exhausted. I said hi to him, but he ignored me. As I knew what he'd been going through, his pain looked apparent to me. Was interested in another person in the classroom. Rena? Satoko, no. Satoko, Satoshi's little sister. She looked as worn out as Satoshi-kun, emotionless like an abandoned doll. Everyone in his room was aware of their circumstances, but no one could do anything for them. So they just acted as though nothing was wrong. Mion will only let me have this one day. If I slacked off even a little bit, the day would be over with quickly. I had to figure out what I should do in this limited time. Should probably talk to Satoshi-kun. About what? Anything goes. Cheer him up, sympathize with him, anything will do. More than anything, I just wanted to chat with him. Her sis had told me. She said Satoshi-kun didn't communicate much with her lately, and they had distanced himself from her. I figured I shouldn't talk to him too casually. I wanted to, but maybe it was better to leave him alone. I need to keep Sis's warning in mind. For some reason, I feel like Mion might have done some shit on her end as well that she didn't tell Shion about. But we'll see. But instead, I decided to ignore them. I looked for Satoshi-kun during lunch break. He was walking as if looking for a place where he could be alone. Caught him in the hallway. It is very telling that Shion did not even mention Rena or Rika, which probably means they notice something is up. Well, I guess Rena's still fairly new at this point. Satoshi-kun. Turned around, startled by my voice. This expression surprised me. It was scowling, clearly a sign of rejection. But I couldn't hesitate. I'd lose my own chance if I did. Hey, how are you? The Eto. He gave me a look as if saying, do I look fine to you? I never expected to see that kind of expression on his face. It felt like my heart was being torn into pieces. As I looked down, he spoke to me. Felt a little glad, but the next thing he said changed that. I am fine. Is there anything else? I'll get going if there isn't. Because I want to be alone. Yeah, okay. Guess you're tired from work. Sure you want some time to yourself. You're working today too, right? What? Sis has found several jobs for him. He worked at a few different places. Was helping out when necessary at any of the shops Mion introduced him to. As a result, he constantly had to do different tasks in different environments almost every time. On top of that, he requested high-paying jobs from Mion because he wanted a large sum of money as soon as possible. In other words, he chose to do mostly manual labor. Oof. Was exhausted every day because he wasn't that physically strong. Does it matter? And shouldn't you know that because you helped me get the job? Mion did help him get the job, yet Satoshi-kun didn't look thankful for that opportunity. That wasn't like him at all. It made me feel sad. Haha, you're right. Sorry. Is that all? He sounded so harsh. Why was he being like that? Why would he ever stroke my head again? Girl is an addict. Ooh. I couldn't help my tears. They flowed onto my cheek. So she could look confused for a moment, but then he furrowed again. Sorry. The coach said he wanted you to come back to practice. Haha. Told him I quit. So I won't be coming back. But maybe it's a good idea to work out for time. You know? Not interested. Don't know why he was being so hostile toward me. Why did he hate me so much? I was left bewildered. Why? How come? Because I'm busy with work. Isn't it obvious? I don't mean that. Why do you hate me so much? Why don't you ask yourself? Ask myself? What? What did I do? I don't understand, Satoshi-kun. Couldn't control my emotions any longer. Streaks of tears ran down my cheeks. Ooh. Satoshi-kun gave me a helpful glare and walked away without saying another word. Couldn't even stop him. If I tried, he'd hurt me again with another cutting remark. Okay, it is possible Mion fucked something up badly. What else? Well, I also think it's possible he's just trying to purposefully distance himself. He may already be planning to run away. He's purposely distancing himself from what he thinks is Mion, because he's also starting to catch feelings. He really does not want to, well, have that stop him. Couldn't bear that, so just watched him walk away. Wiped my tears and went back to classroom. Heard somebody crying from inside. What's going on? I look around to see. It was Satoko. Saw her bento box on the floor. Asked one of the classmates what happened, and seemed that Satoko had bumped into somebody's shoulder when she stood up to wash the box out. That was all. Satoko was crying as if she was going to be chided badly. What happened was very minor. She could just pick up the bento box and things would be fine. Oh, this is gonna end horribly. So, it looked like the lid came a little loose. It was definitely fixable. She didn't have to cry like that. Yet Satoko started begging through her tears. Help me, Nini. Yep, she's about to do something really stupid. Because of what happened with Satoshi-kun, I couldn't suppress my emotions very well. I'm gonna be speedreading here because I'm gonna feel very uncomfortable. So instead, they exploded. I stormed up to Satoko with her elbow, while elbowing her classmates aside. I grabbed her by her head, then threw her into the wall? Why? Are you insane? Then threw her into the wall. Satoko screamed. She didn't seem to understand what had happened. She was shedding tears and shivering. She must be wondering why I did that. Do you know what you did that? Help, Nini. Satoko cried for her brother. Help again. And then grabbed her head and threw her again. Satoko stumbled and crashed into a desk. The desk fell and contents of the drawers scattered all about. Satoko didn't even stand up. She just crouched and trembled while looking up at me. Help me, Nini. If you weren't like that... Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer, don't you get it? That's what I wanted to say, but I was angry to say another word. Picked up a bunch of textbooks on the floor and threw them in her face. Cry as much as you want, but nothing's going to change. Why are you crying? Because you think somebody's going to help you. You don't have any idea what's going to protect you, do you? Do you understand that? Do you understand what you're doing? You shouldn't exist. Die if you don't want to die. Go fuck yourself. Don't hurt Satoshi. You deserve to die alone. You deserve to die. Her desperate cry only increased my irritation. Stop crying. Don't call your brother for help. Stop it. You weren't like that. If only you... Ed's just gonna come and beat the shit out of her. Well, not really, but kept on throwing things at her. Took her out to protect herself and cried even harder. There's Rika. Good. At this point, a long girl with long hair stand up and heard over to her. I knew who it was. Rika Furuda, one of Satoko's friends. Please don't hurt her. She's not post situation, so please don't hurt her. Doesn't matter what pathetic is, she shouldn't renounce Satoshi-kun all the time. Stop spoiling because Satoshi-kun has to suffer because of her. No, stop, don't hurt her. Rika is also angry, trying to teach her something here. If you keep getting in the way, I'll crack your head open. Grab a chair and lift it over my head. It wouldn't hurt only a little if I threw that thing at them. What the fuck, Shion? Rika tightly closed her eyes and covered Satoko with her body. I don't care what the consequences would be. I don't care if I hurt them. Stop, Mi-chan. Ran out into the class and shouted at me. Then the question ran over, pushing her aside, seemed to have grasped Chis and immediately charged straight at me. Until my body hit the locker, I don't understand what had happened. There was a loud crashing noise and I had a dent, crouched there in pain. Satoko, are you alright? Nini, you are... Rika was pushed aside. What happened? Why are you treated like that? Why? I didn't do anything with Mion. She suddenly, why? What's going on, Mion? Satoshi-kun shouted at me. He looked fierce. What did you say? Could deserve this? What did she do? Why did you always have to suffer like this? Why? Hiri Satoko rushed up to grab me by my neck. You said, ask myself, didn't you? Why don't you ask yourself? Ask what? I know you feel she's a burden on you. You always have to suffer because of her, right? If you're stronger, you won't have to suffer. She's not one to blame. She doesn't understand what was wrong. But after hearing it, Satoshi went berserk. What the heck do you mean? Satoshi grabbed my head and threw me into the wall just like I did to Satoko. However, I was going to go back down. No guy didn't control my emotions at all. Shion, you're very much dropping down my rankings of characters because holy shit. You spend so much time protecting her, she'll never stop around you until you do. What the hell do you know about us? What the heck do you know? You prosecute her parents and now it's us. That's the way of the Starkey family, huh? You torture traitors for fun. Is it fun? Is it fun bullying us, huh? God, Rena, please save me. Stop it. That was Rena's voice. He stepped in looking fierce as a demon. Satoshi-kun, please. Mii-chan doesn't have any bad intentions. She wanted to help you, but she just lost control a little. I know, Rena. At this point, I think I'm on Satoshi's side here. I'm still gonna be speed reading here. Okay. Satoshi-kun looked a little wanted to say something back, but chose not to. Mii-chan, I know how much you worry about Satoshi, but you have to problem solve that. I think you understand, right? Satoshi-kun didn't say anything. I kept quiet too. Hey, Satoko, don't you have to cry because you dropped your bento box, alright? You feel better now? Satoko's some... Sadako, I'll pick up the bento for you. Kiki started picking up the bento and continued to cry. Guys, can you help us clean? The teacher will be back in the vegetable garden soon. The quarrel is over. Don't tell her about it, okay? Classmates looked at each other and nodded. Then started to pick up the stuff on the floor. Here, Satoshi-kun's Mii-chan, don't you guys shake hands? Sign of reconciliation there. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. He started down to my cheek again. I'm sorry too. You have nothing to do with family situation. I'm sorry. Mii-chan, you should apologize to Satoko-chan now, okay? That look. I was fine to apologize to Toshi, but I didn't want to apologize to her. The situation wouldn't be settled otherwise, so reluctantly apologized. Satoko nodded, looking discouraged. Rena let me go. My head ached, so I held it down with both hands. What was that? What did I do? Yes! Didn't want to use this precious time to fight. Sis had warned me. She told me that I shouldn't talk to Satoshi-kun just like that. What did I come here for? Shouldn't have come here if I knew this was going to happen. Stupid, you stupid Shion. Was overcome with emotions because I was so worried about Satoshi-kun. When did things go wrong? Where did they go wrong from the beginning? I got in a fight with Satoshi-kun. This was totally the opposite of what I wanted. I regretted it. Hated myself for it. I couldn't blame myself enough. My world was torn apart. I wish the sky would fall and kill me. Can be arranged in this village. Sis sound both amazed and confused. Yeah, she should be after that. You know, I'm busy with the festival preparations, but you certainly made things more complicated. I am sorry. Sis tried to say something, but she stopped in the middle. After listening to a few complaints, I started telling her about everything that happened today. Sis had to prevent the trouble I caused today. The toast was her responsibility, which must have been very taxing for her. So I won't get the chance to trade spots for a while. Hey, I think you should be more aware of the hassle I have to go through. Yeah, you're right. Sis had been sympathetic, but maybe I pushed her too far this time. Of course, she'd be hesitant to trade spots considering what I did today. The atmosphere felt awkward. We were both silent for a while. If you were to get another chance, what would you do, Shion? That was a reasonable question. Wasn't prepared to answer though. If I had a chance to go to school again and see Satoshi-kun, what would I do? Would I apologize to him about today? I don't think that would work. That might even upset him again, no matter how hard I tried. Okay, there's something about something that he was saying. It was about the Sonozaki family who had been harassing him. It would only be natural for him to hold a grudge against us. But why was he only expressing that now? I've been a Sonozaki to him all along. Satoshi-kun stroked my head, and even though he knew that was me on Sonozaki, sis, do you know that Satoshi-kun is holding a grudge against the Sonozaki family? I think so, yes. It was our family that initiated the persecution of the Hojo family, making them into scapegoats. Even after the dam conflict, it wasn't easy for the Hojo family to live in Hinamizawa. Given all of that, I'm not surprised that Satoshi-kun hates us. Sonozaki family who put his family in a devastating situation. But why now? Why is he only expressing the grudge to us now? Why is this happening now? If he wanted to... If he had rejected me in the first place, I wouldn't have wanted to get close to him. My tears wet my cheek. I didn't bother to wipe them. It's only natural for him to hold a grudge against the Sonozakis. There's nothing unusual about it. Rather, why has he been treating me like a friend? I knew how stupid this question was. I think it's because he was mature. I can't understand it. He's been treating me like a friend because he was mature. But now that he'd become stressed mentally and physically, he decided to reject me. No matter how hard I thought about it, I couldn't find any fault with him. If there was somebody to blame, it'd be somebody I'd never accused before. Why did the hack decide to persecute the Hojo family? Eh? It was his family who supported the dam project, right? Toshikun had nothing to do with it. Why was he included? Why? Mion couldn't say anything in return. Actually, it wasn't all that hard to guess the reason. The hag didn't give any specific order to harass the Hojo family. Yep. She just thought the Hojo family was getting in the way. The people around her noticed that it was bothering her and took steps to get rid of it. Though, of course, she must have known how influential her words were. She didn't just think it, she gave what she knew was to be interpreted as an order. She's the only one to blame for initiating the attack on the Hojo family. You said before that the Furuta priest wasn't mature because he didn't cooperate, right? Is it the same scenario? The Hojo family wasn't mature because they didn't act in accordance with the other villagers. That's why the hag decided to punish them, isn't it? Mion couldn't say anything in return, meaning that my accusation was the truth. I mean... Sure. They already pushed the Hojo couple, punished the Hojo couple. Feel free to bring them to torture room in the garden. And chop their fingers off or something, but leave Satoshi-kun alone. Satoshi-kun has nothing to do with this. What did he do to deserve this? What did he do wrong? Answer me, Mion. Very well. Please take care of this matter. Goodbye. Mion suddenly changed her tone and hung up. She must have done that to escape from her questions. I was furious. No, I'm pretty sure she's getting very tired with you. You kinda just been making messes for her, I'm sorry. You really have been making messes for you. She's been surprisingly understanding, all things considered. I know I've been in the anti-Mion camp since Watanagashi, chapter 2, where she just went so psycho. But wow, I am. I've been in the Pro-Shion camp as well. But wow, this chapter is doing wonders to reverse that. I mean, now I see that both sisters have a problem with being in love and become crazy. So you know, Mion did go murder crazy, and Shion's just going. I was going to say hysterical, but not sure that's really correct. Anyway, I was furious, starting redialing the number, but then I remembered that we decided she'd hang up the phone after using the phrase, when she saw the hack coming. That phrase. I thought that she actually saw the hack, but if it was the rule, so I couldn't call back for a while. I went to the bathroom to wash my face and cool down. I turned the faucet, the water felt lukewarm. I didn't help me to cool down at all. I'm disgusted by my own childishness. I just want to fill my void. I don't care about him. Considering that, Satoshi-kun was very generous. But I don't know if I can forgive Satoko. That's a different story. Notebook, page 26. Yes, you are being very childish. Higurashi when they cry. Kai. I mean, I kinda get it, but... I was looking up at the ceiling with my arms and legs spread out. It's not that I wasn't getting hungry. I didn't live with my parents. I didn't live in the school dorm. That meant I had to cook something myself when I wanted to eat. When I wanted to eat. I knew that, but I still didn't feel like getting up. It's been several days since I began this empty life. Must be tomorrow. The Watanagashi festival, I mean. Heard the doorbell ringing. I ignored it at first, but it rang persistently. But hearing knocks along with Kasai's rude voice. Shion-san, please open up. I bought some food for you. Didn't ask him to. He must have known that I hadn't eaten enough and that I've been feeling down lately. You haven't eaten, have you? You know what, Kasai? You promoted to number 2 character in the listings. Congratulations, you have taken over Mion's spot. Well, not still first, but you know, that's gonna be hard to beat. My bro has been nothing but understanding and helpful. You haven't eaten, have you? No, I'm not hungry. But then Kasai put the food on the table. My stomach cracked in a very primitive way by making some noise. Your stomach is growling. I believe you need to eat. I was hungry but had no appetite. I mean, I did have an appetite. Have enough, the energy to eat. Yet I'd feel bad wasting the food Kasai had brought. Picked up my chopstick just to humor him. I thought you were marked by Grandma. Is it okay for you to be here? Oryo-san is busy with the festival preparations meetings. She doesn't seem to have time to deal with you right now. Don't you like croquettes? They're good. Thanks. While I nibbled the food, Kasai read through the magazines I bought. Have you, I'd never talked to Kasai about something like this before. Since I've always believed myself superior to him psychologically, I hesitate to show my weakness to him. That kind of relationship is healthy for your age. How do you know about that? Kasai's going to be like, bring his arms to his face. Deep breath. Shion, it's incredibly obvious. Mion-san told me a little about it. She said she wanted me to assist you. She did she? She looked worried. The sister's looking out for you. Not responding to the last croquette into my mouth. I thought you might want to know how Satoshi Hojo's-kun is doing. Got some information would you like me to report? That's not necessary, but since you went through the trouble, I think I'd better listen. Kasai chuckled, but stopped quickly as if thinking it rude. It seemed that Teppei Hojo fled the premises. He seems to be staying with an intimate lady friend in Okonomiya. Teppei? Who's that? Oh, Satoshi's uncle, huh? Their aunt, Tamae Hojo, Satoshi, and Satoko, the only ones living in the house now. Ever since Tamae learned that Teppei had fled to another woman, She's been in a foul mood. That must mean that Aunt is being even nastier to Satoko and Satoshi is taking in even more indirect blows. I don't know about Satoshi-kun, but I heard Satoko-san is in a bad state. The neighbors are spreading rumors about her. If Satoko looks miserable, then that means Satoshi must be going through equally miserable torture. Can't you do something about the aunt? Doesn't anybody talk about punishing her? She's also one of the remaining Hojos after all. The uncle is gone, so why not the aunt? The main Sozaki family ruled against further harassment towards Hojo family after the death of the couple. They say the police still might be staking out their house due to suspicions about the couple's death. Their deaths have been filled under Oyoshio-sama's curse, so the Sonozaki family thinks no further divine intervention is necessary. Kase put a faint smile. Come to think of it, it is hard not to suspect the involvement of the Sonozaki family in all the incidents said to be Oyoshio-sama's curse. Somebody strives to get rid of the hag's concerns on the day of the Watanagashi festival. Furthermore, the Watanagashi festival is going to be held tomorrow. Will the curse strike again this year? If so, who will be the victim? Now that I think about it, there are cases of multiple victims in the past. First and third year, it was just one. The second year, the victims were a couple. So, it wouldn't be strange if 2 people fell victim this year. Seems like a good time. It'd be best for Satoko and her aunt to be the victims. Shion, you have problems. Toshikun will be freed from every source of his worries all at once, and then commit suicide because his only family just died after his parents died, and yeah, he's probably not gonna be in a good place. And then even though you wished for this, you're going to be like, damn, I can't believe the Sonozakis did this. I would never. It's obviously this would happen. I'm gonna blame them and not look at myself at all. Oh, Shion. Kasai? Do you know if this year's victims have been selected yet? Does Grandma make the decision? If so, she should know about it by now. Kasai, do you know anything? Shion-sai, I don't know of anything about this matter. Well, that makes sense. That kind of secret won't make it its way to you, because you're just a small fry. Okay, Shion, seriously. That's true. I've never received any information regarding that from my connections. But as you know, the Sonozaki family has access to many underground organizations, which I have no channels into. Maybe I could try asking Sis about it, but she won't talk. She's strict about keeping promises, unlike me. If the hag told her to keep a secret, she'd take it to her grave. Damn. I hope Satoko and her aunt will go missing this year. Kasai is like, Jesus. Shion. Hey Kasei, I just thought of that. Aren't you going to do something about it? Shion-san, you must be joking. Yep, I'm just kidding. I took a glimpse at Kasai. It didn't look like he was actually going to do something to make my wish come true. Wasn't able to go to the village as myself. But definitely wasn't going to the festival. I don't care about that. Even so, I was interested in who was going to end up as the victim of the curse. If I just kept lying on this couch playing hooky, somebody would fall victim in several hours. Had no clue why it had happened every year, but I was certain that the hag was behind it. All the enemies from the damn conflict had been punished. Only the Hojo couple was left, since most of the other enemies had already gone. The cicadas were crying loudly outside. It made me feel hot. Why was it this hot and humid in June? If Oyoshio-sama was actually punishing people, I'd pray for one thing. I'd pray for the evil aunt that the evil aunt would be punished. And I'd offer up Satoko as a sacrifice. Ah, it's hot. When I woke up, Kase had already gone. Looks like he cleared the table in the surrounding room. He put my dirty laundry into the hamper in front of the washing machine too. Being a girl of a sensitive age, I didn't want a man to clean my room. Well, I'd rather thank him than badmouth him. I looked at the clock. It was late afternoon. I had to go grocery shopping. There was nothing left in the fridge, and I'd be having just rice for dinner if I didn't go. At that moment, the phone rang. Must be Kasai, I thought. It's the old hag. I did hope it was him. He could have brought me more food, but then I wouldn't have to go shopping. I was just being lazy. I didn't feel like going out at all. But it wasn't Kasai on the phone. Sis, where are you calling from? The house? No. Calling from the payphone. So make it quick. Satoshi called me. Satoshi-kun did? He called you? Probably wasn't me he wanted. He called you, I think. Sounded like he wanted to apologize for what happened the other day. So thought you should take the call. I told him that I'd call back because I was busy. So, can you call his number? This number. Okay. Was stunned for a second, but then recovered and wrote down the numbers on the magazine of a magazine. Thanks. I'll call him right away. Good. He's been extremely stressed these days. I don't think he'll listen to me anymore, but I think he'll listen to you. She could have pretended to be me and handled this call, but she passed it over to me. Thanks, Mion. See you, Shion. Before she hung up, I put the headset down. Then, after a second, I dialed the number in a flash. This is going to end horribly. I heard the dial tone 3 times, 4 times, and then there he was. Court residence. He sounded like an adult. His voice sounded a little bit tired too, but definitely was the voice I loved. I got scared. I was scared that I might become sulky again if I mentioned my name. I couldn't open my mouth for a while. Is that you, Satoshi-kun? Oh, sorry that I called you so suddenly. Are you okay now? That was the Satoshi-kun I knew. He didn't sound cold like the other day. Yes, I'm okay now. Good. After that, he went silent. So I need help hiding a body? I felt the urge to start a conversation. It wasn't fair. He was the only one who called in the first place. Then he finally spoke. I'm truly sorry for what happened the other day. I'm sorry too. You don't have to apologize because I was the one in the wrong. Uh-oh. If this was a face-to-face conversation, he would be stroking my head. It was sad just talking to him over the phone. I won't forgive those people who forced us into this situation. You might be close to them. It was never you personally. I want to apologize. No, please don't apologize. I was selfish and didn't try to understand your situation very well. We apologized to each other a few times. Satoshi-kun, are you alright? You're working and you're under a lot of stress. Is that too much to handle? I quit my job. I have enough money now. You did? That's good. You don't have to push yourself anymore then. That's really good. Satoshi-kun tried to say something, but he dropped it instead. Satoko has it far worse than me. Seems like it. Is she alright? Does she look alright to you? He suddenly sounded upset. I'd messed up. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. I'd ruined a miraculous conversation with him. But she couldn't respond to my apology. I stopped apologizing. She's been hurt so much it's clear to see. She's so torn up. Nobody abandoned her. Everybody did. I didn't! I tried to calm him down. I hated what I just said because of how hollow it sounded. Yeah, you fucking idiot. I had no idea what to say next. I feel guilty. Toshikun was desperate to protect Satoko from the evil aunt. But I'd wish that Satoko would die tomorrow because of the curse. You sure did that. I was trampling on his desperate hope. Satoko can't take it anymore. So he cut himself off in the middle and went quiet for a moment. He must have been choosing his words carefully. Then he finally spoke. His words sounded hollow. I mean, I want her to have fun for one night. Eh? What do you mean? The Wataragashi festival is tomorrow, isn't it? I want you to take her there. Yeah, I can do that, but why? She's exhausted. So I think she'd be happy if she could get away from our aunt for even just one night. But why? Why? That's not... It's not that I don't understand why he wanted her to take her to the festival. What I didn't understand is why he was asking me to do that. Was there any reason he couldn't take her there himself? I had a hunch that he might disappear, so I kept asking. What do you mean, why? Why don't you take her yourself? He fell silent. Toshikun isn't good at lying or keeping secrets. It was clear he wanted to hide something. I just have some stuff that I need to take care of with my work tomorrow. So I can't go to the festival. The work you said you quit. He was lying. He was also stubborn. He couldn't admit it if I excused him. Mion, can you take her tomorrow? I wouldn't want to look after Satoko, even at Satoshikun's request. But I'm also glad that he's relying on me. I know it's ridiculous to ask for your help after the incident. You're the only person I can turn to now. I don't know what to say. I did know, though, that I wasn't going to turn down his request. Okay, but just for tomorrow. Alright? Hope you keep looking after her. What are you saying? I won't do that. Just for tomorrow. He sounded as if he were going to disappear tomorrow. I don't like the sound of that, so intentionally sounded sulky. We talked about trivia stuff for just a little while. When the conversation was almost over, Satoshi-kun asked something else. Hey, Mion. I really hate asking this, since you might think I'm crazy for saying it, but... Huh? What? You don't believe in it, right? In what? Shirosama's curse. Oh, what are you talking about, Satoshi-kun? Those who abandon the village and try to run away get cursed by Shirosama, right? That's the rule. Every kid in the village knows that. That's the rule. What's with that suddenly? Are you planning to leave? I was kidding. I wanted him to deny it. I'm not thinking about that anymore. He admitted that he had thought of it. Guess you're not told me that much. That's good. So you're not leaving the village? No, but I haven't been forgiven yet. Eh? Toshikun tried to say something, but he hesitated. He was breathing so heavily. Was he sick? Hey, do you feel alright, Satoshi-kun? Sorry. I'm fine. Guess you're tired. Think you should get some rest. He sounded distinctly more sick sickly from when the conversation had started. He breathed heavily when punctuating his words. Satoshi-kun repeated his question. Mion, I'll ask you one more time. Do you believe in Oshio-sama's curse? What did he want me to say? I could make him feel relieved with my answer. How should I respond? The answer was simple. There's no curse. There can't possibly be. I don't know what was bothering him, but I wanted to make him feel better by laughing his worries away. But Satoshi-kun instead fell silent. Would my answer make him happy, or maybe sad? I couldn't tell. One thing was certain. It didn't make me feel any better. Sorry that I asked such a weird question. Sorry. I felt like I had let him down, so I apologized in a rush. Well, whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy, I will disappear, and I won't fall victim to it. You won't disappear? No. Not until I buy the teddy bear. I'll get the money pretty soon. Won't go anywhere until then. He chuckled. That he did buy it, and then he disappeared. I knew he was going to relieve me, but I didn't work but then it worked the opposite way. Sound like as though he didn't care if what would happen to him after he bought the teddy bear. Oh, Mount is home. I have to go. Oh, okay. Neon, huh? Even though he wanted to hang up the phone because they aren't coming back, Toshikun took a deep breath to tell me something important. I'll leave Satoko to you. I should have said yes right away, but I still couldn't forgive Satoko. I just kept quiet. Forget what I said. Bye. Oh, he was obviously disappointed. What had I done? I wanted to apologize. I wished I could. But it was too late. The dial tone left no doubt. Now that was depressing. Well, we know how that almost exact same conversation went from what's his face, Keiichi's situation. So whoops. And you know what's funny? Or what's interesting? In chapter 3, Onina. Nope, I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, so I'm just going to say chapter 3, episode 3. Mion said she got the exact same call once upon a time. What the? Would she actually be able to tell it's almost the exact same call if she was only told about it by Shion? This sounds really weird. Did Shion and Mion switch? Because I'll be honest, this Shion seems much more like the Mion I know. Oh well, I'm probably just wrong. The Higurashi, when they cry, Kanai. They're probably just more similar to each other than I thought before. A torn diary. Okay, let's check it. Somebody whispered to me from behind. They told me that I was going to be a victim of the curse this year. I'm going to disappear soon. There'll be nobody left to take care of Satoko. Somebody whispered from behind, told me that I didn't have much time, that I wouldn't stay as myself for much longer. I had to make the best of the days I had left. What could I leave for Satoko? She wanted that huge teddy bear. She wanted a peaceful life in which nobody would bully her. I whispered to the person at my back. Bestow your violent nature and formidable strength upon me. I want your peace of mind. Filled with hatred. I want your peaceful mind filled with hatred. Ominous as fuck. Give me just a moment here. Sorry about that. Did I save? I did. Let's go. Day of the Watanagashi Festival. June 20th, 1982. What was I doing today? Nothing in particular. Nothing at all. I just wanted to play hooky. Woke up in the afternoon, ate instant food for lunch while watching boring TV programs. I had a light headache, so I lay down on the sofa. I wouldn't wake up again if I went to sleep. Put on an alarm then. Whatever. Decided to sleep. I already told Sis that Satoshi-kun had asked me to look after Satoko. Didn't have to do anything myself. Fell asleep, though my head was aching a little bit. That would be all I have to deal with. June 20th, 1982, 5 p.m. The aunt believed that all the villagers frowned upon her because her brother-in-law, his wife were pro-dam activists. She surely experienced some fallout during the time of the dispute. But people had stopped looking coldly upon her, even though she assumed otherwise. She was paranoid, believing that all the villagers hated her, and so she decided to hate them back. Her attitude, of course, begot hatred from the villagers, and the situation became exactly the way she thought it was from the start. What came first, their poor relationship with the neighbors, or the husband's affair? She didn't know herself. Her husband claimed that she got a lover because he was fed up with her attitude. She in turn claimed that the relationship with the neighbors went sour because her husband had damaged their reputation. Only Satoshi was aware that both happened at almost the same time. Their quarrels had become a daily routine now. When the husband came home late, the wife would shout at him at the entrance. So she wondered why they didn't get a divorce, their marriage being as rotten as it was. But he secretly knew the reason for that too. It was the fortune his parents had left. His aunt had hidden their banknotes and stamp and never allowed her husband to access them. So her husband would search the house for them. She'd find out he stole some money from her purse. Then would cause yet another fight. Satoshi had never been aware that his parents had that much money when they were alive. After their death, however, one of his relatives told him. He was informed that his parents had left a large sum of money in some bank account. Satoshi couldn't understand why they had that kind of money, as his family had been, as far as he knew, poor. It was because of the dam project. His parents probably got the money in return for their cooperation with the government. They had strived to get more villagers on their side, provided information to them and whatnot. The money was probably compensation for their efforts. His aunt and uncle never had any intentions to adopt them until they heard about the money. After somebody from some financial institution revealed its existence, they appeared to adopt Satoko and Satoshi. Couple would fight every day. Eventually, Satoshi's uncle started spending more time in the mistress's home. He realized that he had no reason to return to his old home, because he'd just end up in a fight with his wife if he did. When he stopped coming home, Satoshi felt relieved. Neither their uncle nor their aunt treated the two siblings very well. Satoshi's aunt wouldn't have to vent her frustration upon them. The reason the couple fought was their corrupted relationship, so if they separated, there wouldn't be any more fights. Satoshi had thought so that at first. But even if they separated, his aunt still had a short temper. Another woman had stolen her husband. The villagers must have been talking behind her back. It was mortifyingly embarrassing. Since she lost an opponent to fight, Satoshi's aunt directed her hatred towards the siblings. Satoshi had been observing her. He learned when she would get upset and how to avoid her attention. He managed to get by without upsetting her by turning a keen eye to her behavior and avoiding conflict. But Soko couldn't do that. She hated her aunt and didn't even try to hide it. Satoshi told her to behave in their aunt's presence, but her eyes were always filled with hatred. Satoshi strived to reduce the conflict between them as much as possible. He stepped in to mend their relationship. It was a heavy burden for him though, because he was still just a boy. He bore so much. He covered his little sister by lying and maneuvering. He tried to maintain a tangible sense of peace. But he couldn't do that forever. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt had already spiraled out of control. Satoshi found something in the trash. It probably wasn't a legitimate place for trash disposal. If it was, sanitation workers would have come to pick it up. He passed by the streets all the time, but he noticed when there were new things dumped there. He found a plain-looking desk of the kind likely to be seen in offices. Somebody must have dumped it in the past few days. His aunt liked to bring unusable trash home. She'd had Satoshi help bring a chest home just a few days ago. If he told her about the desk, she'd want it. His aunt hated to find bugs and garbage in the drawers, so she'd always open them to check before carrying the thing home. So she opened all the drawers, all of which were empty. After that, he turned around and walked up for about 5 steps. He was standing in a knee-high bush. There he laid something he'd been carrying all the time until today. It'd be very hard to find useless, It'd be very hard to find useless. You specifically knew it was there to begin with. Looking satisfied, Satoshi looked around for some landmark to remember the place by. Deja vu. June 20th, 1982, 5:51 p.m. Hey, old pal. I see you showed up again this year. You better get ready for us. Ha ha ha. You so peppy as ever. Oh, is she a newcomer? That's Runner Yugo. Don't underestimate her. She's good. No, I'm not. Nice to meet you. Yo, you too. I brought all kinds of prizes this year. They'll be a real banner to win. Try to take them all if you can. Lena tends to dote on cute stuff. Yeah, that stuffed animal looks like her type. What? Oh, so cute. I want to take it home with me. Hey, the booth isn't open yet. Whoa! Stop it, Rena. He says the booth isn't open yet. You can run him into the ground once he opens up. Oh, it's mine. I'm taking it home. When I lost her marbles or the stuffed animal, everybody laughed. Everybody except Satoko. She was standing by herself some distance from the crowd. Her eyes looked dull. Meep? What is it, Rika? Rika walked up to Satoko, smiling ear to ear in an effort to cheer her up. Forget your worries today. Let's just have fun. Satoko looked down. Even if she got to have fun today, her circumstances at home wouldn't change. Satoko, you evil aunt isn't around. I know that. So why don't you have fun? Nipa. 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 Oh, sorry, I don't feel like it. Could you please leave me alone? Why aren't you smiling? Satoko sulkily glimpsed at Rika. She gave her a look, as though she wanted to say Rika should know the reason. Even if she could have fun today, nothing would change between her and her evil aunt. No matter how fun the festival was. Once she went home, her aunt would be there. The aunt would find something wrong with Satoko get mad and shout at her so loudly that the neighbor would hear. How can she have fun, even just for today, while knowing all that? Sadako didn't say that out loud, but her eyes betrayed her emotions to Rika. So, Satoko, if your suffering ends today, will you smile? Satoko gasped. She thought that Rika might do something to help. But soon after, she realized Rika was just trying to comfort her. Could her suffering end today? Because of Rika. Now, Satoko knew that there was really nothing Rika could do. And so, after just one moment of freedom, Sadako fell into depression again. Rika, don't give me false hopes. Sadako? Rika's voice was clearer than Sadako had ever heard before. It's already been decided. Yeah, she knows. June 20th, 8:11 p.m. Satoshi snuck out the window after supper. He heard the distant ruckus of the festival. The festival would end at 9 p.m. After Watanagashi ceremony, there was going to be a raffle drawing. But there were two types of people in Hinamizawa. The people who would go home for dinner, and the ones who would stay until the raffle was over. Either relax at home or still at the festival. There were only those two patterns. On top of that, there weren't many neighbors in the vicinity of Satoshi's house. As a result, he found nobody on the streets. On the night, this very small village seemed especially desolate. Satoshi-kun knew it was going to be like this. But he would keep worrying until he saw it for himself. He barefooted, but started running without hesitation. He felt as though he'd become a wild animal, running on his bare feet. He got the impression that he could run faster than usual. Not only his running ability, his vision, his hearing, and his sense of smell. All his senses were keener, including his sixth sense. He could almost feel the sense of presence of people in the distance. If only when crouching like an animal. Felt strange, as though he had stepped into another world. He'd been feeling tense and anxious until today, battling with his own fear. But now he felt as though he had metamorphosized into a different person. June 20th, 1982. Alright everyone, I'm going to explain how the raffle works. Well, please gather around the altar. The festival had reached its climax. The raffle was going to start. Both the women and the women who were dancing and those who were waiting for the raffle gathered around the altar. This was the first time they'd held a raffle. The planning committee decided to hold one from this year onward to attract more people to the festival. At first, the prizes were going to be things the committee members had donated, but Oreo, not appreciating how pathetic they looked, had thrown them away. Oreo took the initiative and bought a brand new TV, a washing machine, a cooling fan, and other things for the raffle. The committee wanted to keep it small initially, but it turned out big thanks to her. Oreo was upset because the committee members weren't enthusiastic enough in her opinion. So the members thought it would be very difficult to prepare prizes of equal value the following year, so this might be the very first and last raffle. Thanks to you, we have such wonderful prizes this year, Oreo-san. They must have cost a lot, don't they? We can reimburse you from our budget. Buffoon. No point in reimbursing that. It was never about the money. Idiots. No, don't say that. The raffle's all thanks to you, Oreo-san. It's not like I'm doing this all by myself. Don't be ridiculous. The mayor, Kimoyoshi, was having a tough time pacifying Oreo. All of a sudden, one of the committee members burst into the tent in a rush. He looked upset, so Kimoyoshi assumed that somebody probably got hurt in an accident. What's going on, Makino-san? We hope you're not having a heart attack? Kimoyoshi made a joke to calm him down. Makino, however, still looked tense. He whispered something to Kimoyoshi. Even though, without hearing the exchange between Makino and Kimoyoshi, it was plain as day there were bad news. Oreo-san, I have unpleasant news, if you don't mind. Kimoyoshi, accompanied by Makino, moved to Orio's side and spoke in a very serious tone. Kimoyoshi whispered to her the exact same words Makino told him. Oh dear, this is bad. Ain't unexpected. What happened twice will happen a fourth time. That's not funny, Oreo-san. You're right, it isn't. It's just another hassle. Police are trying to identify the body. I heard the face was completely destroyed. It will be difficult. It's quite clear who it is, though. Eh? Do you know who it might be? Oreo glared at Kimoyoshi, then started chuckling. Idiot. Must be some impudent lad who didn't come to the Watagashi festival. People who respect Oroshio-sama won't get involved in something like that. Oreo kept laughing. Kimoyoshi and Makino didn't know how to react to that. June 20th, 1982, 9:04 p.m. This is merciless. Uma-chan? Every death is merciless unless the dead wish for it. They have my condolences. How's it going over there? Did you find anything that could identify the body? Forensic investigators shook their heads. The victim's wearing sandals and casual clothes. They must be from this neighborhood. We should be able to identify the corpse by asking around. That's the way we do it. Section manager says this case might become classified. Be careful with that. Gotcha. Kumagai guided some officers and gave them directions. Dr. Iria has arrived. Doctor, it's over here. A young doctor got out of his car and headed to the victim's direction. Hello. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I had to help with the raffle. You must have drunk a lot at the festival, Doctor. Are you sure you're sober? Maybe I should run a breathalyzer test on you, just to be safe. I'm fine. My assistant is driving. Clever of you. Hey, let the doctor pass. Oishi, are you really giving shit to the doctor you called to identify dead body? There was an area cordoned off with blue plastic sheets. An officer rolled up the sheet and let Oishi and Irie pass. The forensic people who were taking photos from many different angles, the blood spattered and bloody sandals were left untouched, marked with chalk and indicated with small alphabetized plates. I'm not used to seeing things like that. Like this. Irie took a handkerchief and covered his nose. You should breathe through your mouth. Well, you might sense the smell visually, though. The body appeared to be that of a middle-aged woman, but soaked in blood. It looked like a middle-aged woman of the hair and what she was wearing. The reason why no one could be certain is that the middle-aged woman was because its face was completely pulverized. This is brutal. I'm sure it was done out of malice. The victim must be murdered right here, judging from the pattern of the blood spattered and the soles of the sandals. And even though not many people take this road, the body is right in the middle of it. It is very unusual to see a culprit who bludgeoned their victim until their face was completely destroyed. Also, can you look at her arms? Oishi put her latex gloves and lifted the corpse's arm. See? Spotless, aren't they? Are you saying the victim didn't try to protect her head? There's no sign of struggle. Right, you are. I think the victim lost consciousness with the first blow. Then the culprit kept beating to complete the murder. The victim was probably lying face down at the time, judging from the stains on her clothes. The body is face up now. The culprit seems to have flipped the victim over in order to smash her face, even though by that point, her death was certain. Ugh. Iria looked like he was going to throw up, both because of the putrid smell and Oishi's reasoning. Smashing the victim's face is clearly a sign of a grudge, in my experience. It's a very profound grudge, too. That means the culprit might be someone very close to the victim. Understand, you didn't call me to resuscitate her. Doctor, do you know who the victim is? If you do, I don't have to waste time questioning the neighbors. Iria looked at the body once again. He looked away quickly and thought. Then after a while, Iria left the investigative area without saying anything. I'm sorry, I don't know. Are you sure? Press X to doubt. Oishi smirked and looked into Iria's eyes, as though Iria was hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. Guess you're still under the influence, Doctor? Maybe you'll remember when you're sober. Let me know if you do. Oishi tapped Iria on the back. The doctor, saying he wanted some fresh air, left the scene. Kumagai returned. Oishi-san, the section manager is on the radio. The one in the first car. Iria lied. Huh? Nothing. Hurry up and question the neighbors. The victim must be from this area. June 20th, 1982, 9:39 p.m. Oishi-san, he hears? Thank you for coming here this late at night. I know you have school tomorrow. I'm really sorry to bother you. No problem. Where is your father? My stepfather hasn't come home much. Oh? Since when? When did he come home last? I don't know. Heard he's living with a woman who works in a club in Okonomiya or something. I don't remember exactly when, but I guess I saw him a few weeks ago. Uh-huh. You have your father's address? No. He's living with a woman who works at a club? Do you know the name of the place? No. I know it's in Okonomiya, and that's all. What's your father's name? Teppei Hojo. Oishi signaled Kumagai with his chin, who nodded while taking notes. Were your mother and father getting along well? I don't know much about that, but I don't think so. I see. I want you to tell me honestly, do you know anyone who might have been holding a grudge against your stepmother? I don't know. Alright. Please let me know if you remember something. Here's my card. My number is on it. Okay. I might ask to see you again for future inquiries, and if you see your stepfather, please let him know that we want to contact him. Kuma-chan, drive him home, will you? Oh no. I can go home by myself. Please let us drive you home. There's a possibility that a culprit who murdered your aunt is roaming around the neighborhood. You might get hurt too. Thank you for consideration. But I'm really fine. So she tried to reject the offer, but Oishi and Kumagai insisted. In the end, Satoshi was forced to accept. He turned around to leave, when Oishi spoke to him as if he remembered something he'd forgotten to say. Hojo-san! Yes? Don't worry, there's no problem. We'll catch the culprit soon. Do you have any leads? Yes, we do. Like what? That's confidential. Ordinary people might think that Oishi was trying to cheer the poor kid up with a joke. Well, usually people get pretty worked up when they commit murder. Though of course, there are some exceptions. What kind of evidence do you find when the couples woke up? When somebody is very excited condition, their body shows many symptoms, like sweat, loss of hair. We often find the culprit's hair at the crime scene. Well, this is outside. It's a bit different, but still. Do you find her here? I don't know yet. The forensic guys are searching the scene right now. I'm anxious to see. So what they'll bring me. Excuse me, I'll have to go now. Please. Uma-chan, would you? Sure. Hoja-san. See you again soon. I'll let you know if there's any progress in the investigation. Let me know when you remember something. Let's cooperate to catch the murder of your stepmother. Higurashi, when they cry, Kai. Yeah, Satoshi, he suspects you. A lot. Sis called the morning after Watangashi Festival to tell me that the curse had struck again for the 4th time. The victim was the evil aunt who was harassing Satoshi and Satoko-kun and Satoshi-kun and Satoko. Satoshi-kun's suffering would be over now, since the problem was with Satoko and her aunt's relationship to begin with. Maybe I should have celebrated, but I wasn't in the mood for some reason. Do the police have a lead on the suspect? Sis went quiet when I asked. I don't know. Oishi seems to be questioning people in the neighborhood. He thinks the culprit is someone close to the victim. Being identical twins, Sis and I think very much alike. If I suspect Satoshi-kun of being the murderer, so would she. Because of this, I don't have to mention the obvious. Does Satoshi-kun have an alibi for the day? I don't know. I heaved a sigh. Are you stupid? He was at the festival. Did you see him there? Yeah, right. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I heaved another sigh. Sis was stupid enough to forget to make an alibi for him, even though the murder of his aunt alone would raise enough suspicion. So that means he did do it? That's what's important now. Problem is whether he has an alibi or not. Well, deja vu. This is giving you a lot of things I already suspected happened in Chapter 3. Because this is very much paralleling Chapter 3. So it seems everyone in the village really did just decide to go, yeah, Keiichi seems like the obvious murderer. Let's just pretend jointly that, yep, he was there at the festival. Well, the police are going to come here later. I'll tell them I was with him at the festival. Sis? Lying out of the blue like that won't work. If you haven't done anything to show his alibi, it's too late now. Please just be honest with them. I can't trust your acting skills. You might raise more suspicion if you make something up on the spot. Yeah, sorry. You sound depressed. I was the only one who should have been depressed. Mion usually handles things well, but she's not too good with emergencies. I was worried for the future of the Sonzaki family. Mion must have been embarrassed. She soon changed the subject. I guess you haven't been able to work lately, have you? You're right, I haven't. Thanks to you. I'm sorry about that. Shion, you're being a real asshole. I had someone until tonight, so maybe you can work today? Sis had been appearing in public places during festival preparations and whatnot. As a result, I hadn't been able to pretend to be her. I hadn't been able to work. As somebody who had to support myself, it was a bit of a pain. To be honest, I didn't feel like working. But I couldn't afford to be sitting around either. When I locked my apartment door before leaving, the door of the next apartment over opened and Kasai appeared. Shion-san, are you heading out? Yeah, I'm going to work since Sis gave me the time tonight. Can you give me a ride? Shion-san, wouldn't it be safer for you to take a few days off? The police seem to be staking out the main house. I don't think it's a good idea to leave. Appreciate your concern, but I have to make money to survive. Kasai might suggest he donates money to my cause. However, I had sworn to myself that when I started living here that I wouldn't depend on Kasai. While I won't obey anyone else's rules, I'd stick to my own. Kasai could tell that I was adamant about my decision. After repeating himself a couple of times the formal procedure, he decided to give me a ride after all. Every time we went to my uncle's store by car, we stopped at the traffic light. I knew what was going to happen again, but it still irritated me. Pedestrians passed in front of the car. I was startled to see the one of them look like Satoshi-kun. It was him. My father had spoken with him on the phone just a couple of days ago. It'd been a while since I saw him last. Kasai? Sorry, but could you tell my uncle that I can't come today? I'm getting off here. What? Shion-san? Kasai looks taken aback, but I got out of the car regardless. The lights turned green. The car behind him honked with Kasai was shouting at me, so he had to start moving. Toshi-kun was on his bike, but he was going really slow. Caught up with him in a flash and tapped him on the back. Hello! I'm surprised to see Okonomiya-kun, Satoshi-kun. If I talked to him with a smile, he might smile back. I smiled as brightly as I could. Mion. He looked tired as always, but I could tell he was trying to smile back. My worries suddenly disappeared. Certain I looked happy. I was aware of that myself, so it must have been obvious to Satoshi-kun. Don't know what the circumstances, but you look happy. Yeah, I am happy. Happy because you look happy. When I teased him, he looked a bit embarrassed. It was like we were back in the good old days. I felt even happier than before. What's going on, Satoshi-kun? Something good happen? Not really. My aunt died and I have to deal with the police and the neighbors. I might have asked something dumb. He seemed to be okay with it though. He frowned a bit at first, but Satoshi-kun continued smiling gently. He looked worn out, but satisfied, like he had accomplished something great. That was the mood I sensed from him. So I was convinced. One who killed the wicked aunt who tormented Satoko was him. I had absolutely no proof, but I knew it intuitively. I would find it so funny if if it was not him. So I admitted all those questions. I knew Satoshi-kun's motive for killing his aunt, how bad he was doing into a corner. I knew the environment and the situation he was in. And I knew Satoshi-kun's feelings. I knew all of that. So I admitted all those questions. Wanted to celebrate his release from the curse, but smiled like nothing was different as I asked. Where are you going, Satoshi-kun? For work? That's right. Have to make a stop before that though. A stop? Want to make sure it's still there, otherwise I'll feel really anxious. Conversation reminded me. The reason he started his part-time job was to buy Satoko a huge teddy bear. It was being sold at a toy store just down the street. Recall that the teddy bear was very expensive. Satoko's birthday was right after the festival. I wasn't sure what day though. Wait, didn't he say he quit his job? Maybe he was going to greet his ex-coworkers and clean out his locker or something? Either way, he'd be completely free very soon. Meanwhile, Satoshi being like, fucking running away and somebody caught me? Maybe he hadn't been paid yet. That's why he wanted to check if they still had the teddy bear. Maybe he was only getting paid on Satoko's birthday. When we got near the toy store, he rushed to the display window. He looked relieved that it hadn't been sold. Good, good. Alright, it's still there. You've earned enough money already, haven't you? Why don't you reserve it? Huh? He probably hadn't thought of that. He really did need someone to look after him. I looked into the display window over his shoulder. Teddy bear wasn't that cute, in my opinion. It looked huge and cramped in the middle of the store showcase. Really, it looked more like a display model than an item for sale. I don't see a price tag. Is it really for sale? How much is it? Yeah, I'm sure they sell it. What about the price? Does it fit your budget? It's alright, I already checked. Toshi thought I was teasing him again. He parted and looked a little sulky. There's no problem then. Why don't you go and reserve it now? Then you won't feel anxious anymore. We entered the store and looked for the clerk. Is anybody here? Hahaha, nice. Maybe you can get it without paying. No, Mion. Stealing is bad. Just kidding. Trying to make you laugh. Do you think I'd really do that? And then Shion appears here. And it's like, ah, shit. Sorry, hahaha. Toshikun smiled apologetically and puffed my cheeks to tease him. It'd really been a while since the last time we did this. In between those times, many undesirable things happened that I wanted to forget. But now, I felt as though all those things simply vanished into air around us. Found an old person napping in the back. He must be the clerk, I thought. He looked to be fast asleep. Excuse me, you work here, right? Poked his shoulder, but he didn't look like he was going to wake up. Where did that? A middle-aged woman wearing an apron came in. Grandpa, you fell asleep again. Have customers. I'm really sorry, you two. It's been very flaky, you know. The middle-aged woman shook the old man awake and told him to get back to the living room. She went to the cash register after that. That was embarrassing. So how can I help you? I'd like to reserve something. A thick picture in display window. Oh, that one? Are you sure? The one is really expensive. You know that, right? Yes. I think I have enough. He'll get paid really soon, so he'd like to reserve it. The woman looked a little hesitant first. She eventually wrote down Toshi's name and accepted the reservation. Toshikun opened a slip of paper. See, you don't have to worry about the table anymore. Yeah. I'll get paid soon too. Feel relieved now. He would have kept coming to check every day if he hadn't done this now. He would have spent his time needlessly worrying. Toshikun looked very relieved indeed. For some reason, the toys in this shop just caught my attention for the first time, really. I'm like looking at each shelf. Some of them look pretty cool. Well, I guess cool is the right word. They look nice. I should have done it sooner. Usually people do it right away when they want something. It's very rare for somebody to not think of that. So it was so very fun to tease him. Painful days seem unbelievable now. Toshikun looked like he'd forgotten everything that happened up until yesterday. Anyway, thanks. Toshikun held his hand to touch my head. Was he going to stroke it? I felt my face sweating already. He didn't do it. Even before he touched my head. Felt tingly, remembering the last time. Didn't care about the murder or whatever else happened. As long as Satoshi-kun had his freedom, everything would be alright. I'd be content as long as he could live happily from today onward. But Satoshi-kun hand never reached my head. I slowly opened my eyes, only to realize that the situation had drastically changed. There were 4 men in suits blocking our way. It looked as though they'd been waiting for us to exit the toy store. Hello, hello. No, foo. So mixed on Oishi. Guy's such a bastard. But at least he's kind of unapologetically a bastard. And considering everything he's going through, he's, well, not way of thought, but his attitude somewhat makes sense. Still think he's too much of a bastard, but oh well. The oldest of the 4 men stepped forward while smirking, and I met this man, but looked like he knew both Mion and Satoshi-kun. He was probably our cop. I ran a search for information in my head. Found something right away. Good to see both of you, Ojo-san and Sonozaki-san. I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this. This must be Kuroda Oishi, cop who's investigating the series of mysterious deaths. He thinks that the Sonozaki family is behind all the cases. In other words, He's an enemy of the Sonozaki family. He had deep connections with the other investigation division in the police force. Likes to nose around the business in this area. He annoys the Sonozaki family enough as it is by interfering with its Yakuza business, let alone he's suspicious on the series of mysterious deaths. Naturally, as the family's successor, he's not a welcome figure to Mion Sonozaki. I try to imagine how Sis would react. Oh, Oishi-san. Thank you for working so hard for our safety. Oh, the four of you want something from this toy store? A doll, maybe? I knew what they want, and it's not a toy. Probably not me either. They want Satoshi-kun. I looked at Satoshi-kun. He seemed a bit uncomfortable. The other three cops loosely surround us to prevent our escape. Hojo-san, I'd like to talk to you about something. What for? Are you taking him to the station? You don't have to go with him, Satoshi-kun. Let's get out of here. I pushed on his shoulder, but he just stood there, looking pale and bewildered. Bewildered? No, he actually looked resigned. Then, call Sis's mistake. Obvious that he killed his aunt for the circumstances. You don't even have to look at the crime scene. How could Mion have failed to create an alibi? The stupid Mion must have spoken to the police without making anything up at all. She must have not told them that she knew where Satoshi-kun was. If she hadn't done anything, the villagers wouldn't work to help her. It was just a matter of time until the police uncovered Satoshi-kun's complete lack of an alibi. The police were trying to corner him and lead him to confess. You told her to not say anything. Man, Shion is losing points quickly. I looked at Satoshi-kun's face once again. He looked like a dead man. I probably don't know how he could refuse to be interrogated. If he was taken to the station, grilled by Oishi, he'd confess in a minute. Somebody had to protect him. Nobody had ever been there for him. I had to step up now. But how? Would it be possible to alter what Mion had already told them, saying it was a mistake? That wasn't going to work. If I had more time, I'd come up with an excellent idea, but I didn't have that much time at all. To pressure him, the cops were drawn near. Toshi must have felt intimidated. He might end up turning himself in to the pressure while I'm stuck trying to come up with something. I have to do something now. I have to say something. Otherwise, Satoshi-kun might give in. I have to save him. Oishi drew nearer. Satoshi-kun fell back. Won't take much time. Come on, don't be scared. Won't take much time. He just said it. He just said he wouldn't let him out if he caught him now. Satoshi-kun, don't give in. If you give in now, everything you've been working for will be ruined. Or Satoshi-kun looked like he was at the breaking point. Oishi was clearly aware of it. Oishi smirked and held out his arm to grab Satoshi-kun's shoulder. Felt electrified when I saw that. The hand shouldn't be allowed to touch Satoshi-kun's. The moment Oishi-kun touched his shoulder, he'd give in. He'd go to the police station and confess everything. And so you're gonna hit it away and assault an officer. You want to know his alibi? Huh? Oishi turned to face me. His hands was hanging in the air. Wasn't very prepared for this. Just had to stop Oishi no matter what. Only need to gain some time. Didn't really matter what I said. It did. That's right, I want to get Hojo-san's alibi. Nah. We must not be doing a good job. We can't seem to confirm his whereabouts at the time of the crime. It's a shameful, but we decided to question him in person. We don't have to ask him. We can confirm his alibi. Oh, really? That did help me. You already told me that you were at the festival that night. Many people confirmed it. It'd be easier if we could confirm that Hojo-san was with you. I don't think you mentioned him when I questioned you last time, did you? Are you going to change your statement now? Even though no one in the festival saw Hojo-san, are you going to tell me that he was with you? That's right. He was with me. Wouldn't that be enough? I know you were there with your friend the night. I saw that myself. Are you still saying that you were with him? Isn't that a little too hard to believe, isn't it? She's going to reveal that she's Shion. Or she approached me with a creepy smile. Was he teasing me because my excuse was funny? I don't think so. I was frustrated due to being interrupted when he was about to catch a big fish. Are you saying that you forgot you were with him? But you now remembered you actually were, me and Sonozaki? I did get a little scared, but I couldn't stop myself. I could save Satoshi for reveal my real identity. I was aware of this. Grandma would certainly capture me if I revealed it. I didn't think of the consequences after that. Yep. I'm not Mion Sonozaki. I don't go to Watangashi Festival in the first place. Huh? Satoshi-kun and I were talking in a restaurant in Okamiya at the time. The name of the place is Angel Mort. You can confirm that with the owner if you want. Oishi was still smirking, but he apparently felt confused. What are you saying? If you aren't Mion, then who are you? I'm Shion Sonozaki, Mion's twin sister. Pleasure to meet you, Oishi-san. Oishi looked puzzled, like he didn't believe what I said. He frowned. I don't know Mion had a twin sister. Are you trying to fool me? Not at all. Why don't you check my family registry or whatever? Should I call sis? All the cops look bewildered now. Shion Sonozaki? Yes, that's me. Is there anything wrong? Can you come with us? You're testifying that you were with Hojo-san at the night? I'll have to talk to you too. Sure thing. Please go easy on us. The cops gathered in the car and started discussing something. Looks like they never expected this to happen. I hoped that we'd be able to fake Satoshi-kun's alibi for at least a little while. It wouldn't be difficult to talk to Sis about this, then forge an alibi together. Satoshi-kun, tell them you were chatting with me in Angel Mode tonight, no matter what they ask, okay? I'll confirm your alibi. Tell them you don't remember the night too clearly, or maybe you should just keep silent. Satoshi-kun wore a startled expression. I thought I was telling him something important. He apparently decided not to listen. Can you hear me, Satoshi-kun? You can't mess this up. Oh, okay. He must have been feeling deceived. No wonder. I'm just confused that I wasn't Mion, but her twin sister. No, I don't think Satoshi could actually even realize that's the case. Because, like, wait, is this for real? I really had been deceiving him. You upset? Why? Because I've been fooling you. Satoshi couldn't start laughing. Now I know why he'd laugh. Because he wasn't the type of person who would laugh in order to hide something. I understand why you were weird sometimes in class. Been thinking was a bit strange. Aren't you upset that I've been fooling you? Satoshi couldn't look puzzled. It was like he didn't know whether he should be upset about it or not. Maybe he was only pretending to be that way. But this is the first time we met, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's right. Okay. How do you write your name? The characters for poetry and sound. Shion. Huh? That's a beautiful name. Could you please go with us to the station? Oh, she's like, no, I'm done with this. We can get instant coffee or tea if you'd like. Okay, Shion. Higurashi when they cry Kai. Thank you for finally doing a smart move. It's kind of fucks you in the long term, because your grandmother now knows. But, in the short term, good fucking job. Better than doing it wishy-washy, because it was... I was pretty sure it was pretty obvious what's going on with Shion and Mion. It probably wouldn't take that much longer for Oreo to figure this shit out. Especially if she keeps doing, well, acting the way she, as emotionally as she is. I'm not sure why, but I am Yawning like crazy today. I swear, I am not sure what's up with me. Anyway, give me a moment. I have to check something here on my computer. Oh, that is not correct. Been waiting for someone to message me. And it seems they're finally dead. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Nope, that should be fine. Sorry for taking like a few minutes. Maybe we should just take a short break. Probably not. Let's view the tip. I'll wait for an answer. Notebook page 29. Either Satoshi-kun was smart or very lucky. Or maybe it wasn't him. The police found nothing at the crime scene to indicate his involvement in the murder. Yet Satoshi-kun was still the prime suspect. Considering his home environment, he had a strong enough motive. He had no alibi. The police had everything other than physical evidence. It wasn't surprising that Oishi took a chance. He probably didn't expect me to step in, but what I did was too little to avert his suspicion of Satoshi-kun. Oishi believed that Satoshi-kun did it. He was waiting for Satoshi-kun to fall apart and confess. That's what both Oishi and I were thinking. But that hypothesis was destroyed later on. I'll not talk about it. Oishi's theory will be disproven and the police will be thrown into shock. A question comes to mind. That is, who saved Satoshi-kun? Only think of the possibility that the Sonozaki family invented the culprit. Interesting. Sonozaki saviors. Okay, I already saved. Oh, I already got the answer. One moment. Where is it? Okay, that should do it. Sorry again. The cops were smart enough to separate us during questioning. Oishi didn't come to talk to me. His aim was Satoshi-kun and nobody else. I got a young cop who just talked about ordinary things. He must have been trying to ease me into the interrogation. When I realized that, the clumsy way he spoke began to frustrate me. Is Satoshi-kun alright? Didn't think Oishi really bought my testimony. He must have been trying to get Satoshi-kun to confess in spite of that. All I could do was pray that he'd keep quiet. Phone on the desk rang. Pop picked it up. This is Kumagai. What? Alright. I understand. Right away. He hung up and told me that somebody had come to retrieve me. You are so fucked. Please be Kasai. Looked like Satoshi-kun had to stay. Were they going to continue the interrogation just because he had nobody to pick him up? Although, maybe I should have been worrying about myself. The hack had probably heard about me by now, so I revealed my identity to the police. Couldn't hide any longer. Was going to receive some sort of punishment. Had no idea what she'd end up doing to me. The degree of punishment for a traitor is always severe in the world of the Sonozakis. The punishment must be carried out. If it's to protect the family's reputation, it's carried out no matter what. Maybe I should kiss my pinky finger while I still can. I asked the young cop just in case. Hey, did you know that in America, if a condemned criminal gets arrested in a state which has banned capital punishment, they refuse to surrender him to the state prosecuting him if the state hasn't banned it? Maybe that was too difficult for him. He just looked puzzled. Glossy black car was waiting for me in front of the police station. Few men from my dad's office bowed to me. Been a long time, Shion-san. Where's Kasai? Oh, he's being amputated. Kasai had been helping me ever since my escape from the school. They won't allow him to walk free. How's sis doing? Does he have something to say about this? We've only been told to bring you to the main house. Please ask when you get there. After saying that, he escorted me into the car. A man sat on either side of me. Obviously didn't want me to escape. Thinking of Satoshi-kun, I looked back to the police station. Hold on tight, Satoshi-kun. I'll grin and bear it too. The car started off roughly. It was never a good occasion when I went to this house. Except when Mion and I were really small, oblivious from the Sonozaki, what the Sonozaki name meant for us. I'd been here only when I had to attend another family council. The car parked behind the house. Traitors weren't allowed to go to the main gate. I got out of the car, and I looked like Sis would be the only person to receive me. Almost spoke to her casually, but her cold gaze froze me before I could. Been a while, Shion. Good job, Mion. I expected to see you other than on New Year's. It gave me chills to hear her greet me in a cold manner. A pleasure to see you again, Mion-sama. I feel overjoyed to have a chance to see you, other than on New Year's. Meanwhile, both of them inside, she on the inside, why the fuck did you do that? Shion's like, oh, you know exactly why I do that. We are fucking... I responded trying to sound likewise. And audio on the inside's like, Jesus Christ, they act so badly. Responded trying to sound likewise. Our leader is deeply upset. I wonder how you will explain yourself. I have nothing to explain. I had no excuse. I escaped from the school solely because I couldn't stand it there. That was all. Shion, come this way. Everyone is waiting for you. Mion escorted me and the others followed. We went to the garden, not to the house. Oof. As we passed through the huge yard in the woods, I realized where she was taking me. When we were little, we were told to never go near the woods. I had a vague idea of what was in the back of them. I'd heard there was a hidden entrance to the underground torture room, where they used to punish the enemies of the family. The more hideous rumors I heard about the family, the more credible those rumors seemed. But wasn't completely certain about any of that, and never expected to see the torture room for myself. We came to a conclave clearing in the woods. Saw a metal door at the bottom of it. The door reminded me of a bomb shelter. But this is the underground torture room, huh? Surprised to hear my own voice. My voice was trembling. Made me realize that I was more scared than I thought. Nobody answered my question. The very air felt tense. According to the family rules, one of the twins must be eliminated. Was I finally going to be eliminated? I realized I had been underestimating my punishment. I hadn't been aware of the real terror until now. I just thought I was. Beyond the steel door, the air had an intimidating smell. This really was happening to me. I shouldn't allow myself to give in to fear. I mean, that would be a really stupid thing for them to do. Shion was just revealed, they confirmed she exists, and then the next day she's murdered. It would take very little for the police to have a new case on their hands, and a slam dunk case to be honest, but oh well. Felt like saying something rude, but my lips were dry. My fingers were fidgeting. Understandable. Escorted to the narrow hallway down to a few sets of stairs. There I saw another huge steel door. This was the place. It was spacious and utterly odd-looking room. What the fuck's something with the Higurashi? The room had two sections that looked completely different. One side looked like a lounge. I saw several high-ranking members of the family council sitting on cushions there, looking expressionless. The other half was tiled, as if in a large public bath. Already puzzling enough. And then there were those things. To be honest, they had captured my attention the moment I arrived. Noticed them even before I saw the large and tiled space. Just didn't want to accept that they existed. Couldn't stand straight. Almost dropped to my knees, but I couldn't. Two young men had been holding me by my arm since I got here. There were oddly shaped things hanging from the wall. Ah, I was just refusing to recognize what they were. Knew exactly what they were called. Corpses? Ah, I see. Understood that those were eerie shaped objects were torture devices from hell. I just remembered. I never switched music. Oh well, next time. Damned fool. How dare you return? The hag sitting in front of the lounge intimidated me in a horrid voice. She kept cursing me for a little while, but she was so incensed that I couldn't barely tell what she was saying. I knew what she was trying to say though. The hag was willing to forgive my escape from the school, but once I revealed my identity to the police, she had to step in. Since I had disobeyed my family rule, she as the leader was forced to punish me. Moreover, there was only one thing that bothered me more than anything else. The fact that I covered for Satoshi-kun. Hojo family had been seen as traitors to the village ever since the damn conflict. Satoshi-kun is still considered one of them. She couldn't accept that I was connected to him. For me, this was a bit unexpected. I'd escaped from the school the hag had put me in. All the while I believed that was what she was upset about. But in fact, she said that she was the most uncomfortable with her connection to Satoshi-kun. I couldn't believe this. Of course, I knew that Satoshi-kun's family was prosecuted for their betrayal. But I didn't think that Satoshi-kun was also burdened with that responsibility. He has nothing to do with that. I understand that his parents were ostracized, but he shouldn't be. Shut the hell up! Hag interrupted me with a shout, which made me cover in fear. She continued slandering the Hojos and said that Satoshi-kun was a cursed child. I started feeling pissed off. What did he do to deserve this? What was he being blamed for? It was too late when I realized I'd said that out loud. The hag looked furious. I'd obviously upset her. I decided to repeat myself to make it very clear how I felt. What are you saying, you old hag? Everything you spotted is utter nonsense. Huh? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Shut the fuck up, let me finish. Shouted loudly to silence the hag. What the fuck do you know about Satoshi-kun? How could you talk about him like he was some pest when you don't even know anything about him? I know how sweet he is. You don't like him because he's a Hojo? How fucking stupid is that? Is even your brain archaic or what? You hate the fact that Sonzaki's with a Hojo that much? Then that's not just stupid, that's beyond stupid. Well, I never expected it to feel like Juliet. Ha 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 ha. My voice became hoarse from shouting. My face messy with tears. Even so, it didn't feel like putting a stop to my emotional explosion. Meanwhile, someone in the room with popcorn. I just wonder how everyone else in the room is feeling. Was all too well aware that I was doing this just to overwhelm my fear. The hag was glaring at me while breathing heavily. I glared back at her as fiercely as I could. Eventually, I realized that her sticking point was my relationship with Satoshi-kun. She wasn't only upset that I had a mere connection with him. I see. Looks like Mion mentioned that too. It was as though Mion was wearing a mask. She didn't bulge under my penetrating gaze. That was what the hag was really unhappy about. The fact that I was in love with Satoshi-kun. I don't give a shit about this family background of mine. Yeah, I'd like to admit that I'm in love with him. I love Satoshi Hojo-kun. I love him so much. Is that so wrong? Do you need a reason to love somebody? But see the relatives shaking their heads in turmoil. Like, Jesus, she's really having an episode, isn't she? Someone else. God. This is one of those things she's gonna look at in 5 years and be like, oh my god, I was so cringe. Among them, I saw my mom. She must have been trying to protect me. But even she wouldn't look at me. She's like, oh. Instead, she looked silently at the floor. Do you guys in the back hear me? Am I wrong? You know how sweet Satoshi-kun is in an instant if you bother to get to know him. How can you put him down without? Mion held held out a hand to silence me. Then she slowly walked in my direction. That is enough, Shion. I understand what you want to say. Mion put her head close to mine and whispered, Shion, I know how you feel. You can't go back after coming this far. You have to pay for what you did. What did I do? Why me? Honestly, this feels like Shion is about to go stab someone. Why me? That's ridiculous. Shion, Mion's face turned cold again, and she calmly told me, you're probably right. But this is Himizawa, and we Sonzakis as I'm sure you understand. We're the leaders of the three families, and you are the twin sister of the successor Mion Sonzakis. Yet, interrupted her, we haven't agreed on the matter ever since I came back. You're full of the reputation. You're full of this reputation shit, Himizawa, the Sonzakis. So what? Don't give a fuck about that. Listen. Mion interrupted just like I did her. How many people did you depend on to start your new life in Okamiya? Chill shot through my spine. Kasai-san is the cell at the back. Why, Kasai? I knew why, of course. The moment I got caught, those who helped me were destined to meet the same fate. We were all subject to the punishment of betrayal. Maybe my punishment would be lighter than what they'd been going through. Kasa and Uncle Yoshio must have been treated much worse than this. Anybody who helped me was falling victim. I know what you prepared. I know that you are prepared for your punishment. And have you ever thought of the consequences that Kasa and Uncle Yoshio will have to face? My head rapidly cooled down. My aggression was all used up. I should be able to bear whatever punishment they'd bring on me. But I resented the fact that I'd be putting the people who supported me at risk. Shion, apologize to Granny. If you do, the others won't have to suffer. Alright, but Mion, did I really have to do something wrong? Was any of what I did bad? The moment Mion learned what I wasn't willing to apologize, her expression turned cold again. She turned back to me and turned to the lounge. Talked back to the hag in a really harsh manner. Told her that I didn't do anything wrong. Yet I had involved many people for whom I owed so much. I went without saying that this was my responsibility. The sole person to blame, and no fault lay with them. Yes, Kasa and Yoshio were blameless, just as Toshikun was. But then, as she read my mind, Mion turned around and gave me a slight nod. It's possible that something was going to happen to Toshikun, on top of Kasa and Uncle Yoshio. Wait, sis! This can't happen. Satoshi-kun, I mean, nobody else should be punished. Please forgive them. What is it, Shion? I'll be honest. This is now me being emotional and whatnot. But I kind of want Shion to just be like, no, you know what? Fuck this. Walk up to the grandma and fucking punch her. It would just make things so much worse, but I'll be honest. I kind of want that to happen. Tear rolls down my cheek. I no longer care about my pride. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I should have said what the hag wanted to hear. Punch her! Yet she still looked unsatisfied. That much is obvious. Maybe that wasn't too surprising. I just announced her so bad in front of the relatives. She wouldn't forgive me so easily. Just then, Mion spoke as the successor. So, Shion, how do you propose to pay for this? Pay? What do you mean? What do you mean for me to do? Nothing should be scared of being told to pay while standing next to the horrid-looking torture devices. I was completely terrified. Couldn't move from trembling. Mion saw that and whispered to her grandmother. The hag nodded. Mion summoned some young minions and gave them an order. They removed one of the torture devices hanging on the wall. They set the table in front of me and put the device on top. What is this? It's a tool for removing fingernails. You know how to use it? No way. I shook and stared at the tool. It looked like a giant nail clipper. You probably put the part that looks like a beak between your nails and fingernail, pulling them apart if you squeeze the handle. The chills ran up and down my spine when I imagined that. Each fingernail represents one of your responsibilities. Shion Sonozaki. No matter which ones you choose, you must remove 3 nails yourself. 3. One for Kasai, one for Uncle Yoshiro, and the last for Satoshi-kun. It was a fairly reasonable number. Will you really not punish the others? Promise me. Please let them go if I do this. This is a punishment, not a negotiation. If you don't do like the procedure, I'll do it. Just give me a second, I'm doing it. I put the device on my little finger while shaking badly. If my fingernails were shorter, it would have been harder. Oh. Sorry, I'm hearing something outside. Nope, nothing. Oh well. The metal beak captured my little finger beautifully. The subordinates that stabilized my left hand with a different reinstating tool. Different restraining tool, not reinstating. Good job, me. What was being reinstated? My brain, probably. That seemed reasonable because my finger would slip out if it weren't restrained like that. As the subordinates buckled up the leather straps, I realized that this was really happening. And there was no escape. Somewhere in my mind, I've been thinking that they might forgive me after just a gesture alone. I shouldn't have been so naive. Emotions I'd been holding back appeared in form of tears and kept rolling down my cheeks. It was like my feelings were being squeezed out until the very last drip. Something even more horrifying followed this. It was the silence that awaited my next action. So, what should I do now? One of the subordinates pointed the handle and told me to either squeeze it or hit it. You recommended the latter. It would be easier to make it quick. Nobody said anything after that. There was nothing to hear but the sound of my sweat dripping onto the floor. Onlookers were staring at me silently, waiting for me to execute my punishment. Both the hag and Mion. They were also anticipating it. I could refuse, but that meant I wouldn't be paying up. The punishment exists to offer a payment in exchange for safety of those who help me. Refuse, they would suffer. Whew. Whew. Ah. I started breathing heavily. I knew that if I did this, the others would go free. This was, if you thought about it, quite a good deal. If it weren't for me, it wouldn't be just 3 fingernails. With Kasai, he'd have to sacrifice his little finger, or something even worse. I knew. It was my selfish desire to get away from school. Why did Kasai have to suffer because of that? I knew. Why did Uncle Yoshio have to suffer because he provided me a job? I knew that the hag and the other relatives still hated the Hojos. So I didn't know what they'll do to Satoshi-kun if I didn't do this. Would they bring Satoshi-kun here and tell him to do the same? Would they tell him to remove his fingernails in exchange for forgiving him? He'd do it. Sacrifice himself with no hesitation in order to save others. My sweat dripped onto the table through my nose. I'd do it, yes. There's only 3 fingernails. Might hurt a lot, but don't die. Fingernails would grow back. wouldn't even leave a huge scar. I shouldn't be afraid. The punishment was minimal because it was me. If I refused to do this, the others would be punished much more severely. I couldn't let that happen to Kasai, Uncle Yoshio, or Satoshi-kun. I was the only one who should be punished. So, I just need to bear the pain. Wasn't just breathing heavily anymore. It was also moaning faintly. Ready to scream at any moment. That's right. Make it quick. This wasn't torture, so I didn't have to prolong the moment of pain. I should just do it in one swift blow. That way, my pain would be minimized. Raise my right arm. Quickly. Pain would be lessened if you do it in one stroke. It'd be much more painful if I messed up. Ah! Held my breath. Because my body was frozen, I was choking. The chills crept up my spine. Don't be afraid, Shion. Fingernails were just a tiny fraction of the body. Just 1 square centimeter. I could do this. I could bear it. Smack the right hand onto the handle of the device. Sends a noise through my body, instead of through my ears. At the same time, I felt a pain I'd never experienced before. A moment later, the pain pulsed with my heartbeat. And clenched my teeth. Felt like my teeth were chattering. I tightly shut my eyes, till my eyeballs got squeezed up. The pain wouldn't fade. Rather, it swelled with my blood pressure. I felt as though I was bloating like a balloon. Timidly, I opened my eyes. Found that my little finger wasn't really drenched in blood. It was bleeding, not much. Certainly not enough to explain how much it hurt. My fingernail was open, just like the hood of a car. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was overwhelming. Couldn't occur to me. It occurred to me that I'd only done one of the 3. Did I have to repeat it 2 more times? Did I have to remove the nails from my finger and my ring and middle finger as well? Look at the Hag and Mion begging for mercy. They were just silently staring at me, as if showing as if the show had only just begun. I saw no hint of mercy in their eyes. They wouldn't be changing their minds. Since they said free, it had to be free. They wouldn't forgive me until I removed 2 more fingernails. Mion, look, isn't this enough? It really hurts, you know that? You see that in my eyes, don't you? It really hurts. Mion answered, still wearing a cold look. Shion, can't keep going? She didn't mean that it was sufficient. She meant was that the others would have taken the remaining punishment if I didn't. I knew that. I really did know. I'll do it. This is easy. You sadist. This doesn't scare me. This doesn't hurt. Quickly moved the metal beak and set it in my ring finger. Honestly, if she was just taking this quietly, I think, and trying to do it like, it doesn't hurt, trying to hold it in, I think the old hag would be like, I want to see more pain. You're doing more. So as fucked up as it sounds, I think it's good that that this is being very painful for her. How do I say this? Kind of. And smacked it without hesitation. That sound. Instead of making it quick, maybe I was just rushing out of fear. I'd messed up. Torture tool had clipped just the tip of my fingernail. That does not sound pleasant. The pain, however, was equal. How equal. I couldn't believe I'd only clipped it. Did I have to do it again? Correct. Did I have to continue removing the nail from my ring finger? Also correct. That much pain again? Again? Shion? No, I don't want to do it! Oh, whoa. What? I accidentally pressed Alt. I am sorry. Was it Alt? I accidentally pressed Control. Right. You have my apologies. I did not mean to do that. I guess I'm going to have to read it through like this. Shion, I can't do it. I couldn't bear it anymore. I started crying shamelessly. Can't take it anymore. It's too painful. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear my voice. It felt as though it was an invisible barrier between us. They showed no mercy. We were just going to witness the ritual. So rather than being sympathetic, they looked amazed by my screw-up. Neon walked up to me, whispered to my crying face, Shion, there's just a little more to go. Hang in there. No, I can't do this. It really hurts. It really does. Neon shook her head and signaled the subordinates. They came from behind me. They covered my head and with something like a knit's cap, plus a blindfold. One of them pinned me to the Nelson hold and restricted my movement. No, stop it, no! I could not apart the guy behind me. Then I felt something strange on my left hand. The other guy was doing something with the torch tool. He put the metal beak between my ring finger and its fingernail. My left hand was fixed in the restraint, so I couldn't put up much protest anyway. But even the left hand was pressed down by its rough palms until it hurt, rubbing it off the freedom even to tremble. They had no hesitation. It was made very clear to me how merciless people could be. Robbed of my vision, all I could do was clench my teeth against the pain assailing me. If there was anything I was thankful for, it was that he was well practiced and had ripped off both my fingernails cleanly. Pain and screaming might induce narcotic chemicals in the brain. While screaming, I started to lose consciousness. Higurashi when they cry. Ah, that was a rough scene. A really rough scene. least on the outside. I was relieved that my sacrifice had meant something. Kasa didn't say anything. I could tell if he wanted to tell me something or not because he looked so emotionless. Kasai? Yes? He paused shortly before answering. I could tell he was upset. Didn't regret revealing my true identity in order to protect Satoshi-kun. But I hadn't wanted Kasa or Uncle Yosho to be hurt. I'd been contradicting myself. Do you know how Uncle Yosho is doing? No. I'm sure he's alright, because he's strong. Even so, you should apologize to him. Okay. Wanted to ask him about Satoshi-kun too. Wondered if he was captured and harassed by the Sozaki family because of me. But I was hesitant to ask Kasai. After all, I'd chosen Satoshi-kun over them. Was Satoshi-kun alright? Hoped he wouldn't get caught or incinerated somewhere. I paid the hospital bill and Kasai gave me a ride home. Uh-oh. I finally realized that somebody was knocking on my door. Coach, please be coach. No? Shion-san, it's not help me to sleep so much. It was Kasai. Oh, I thought she was still in the hospital. Yeah, right home. Yep. He spent some side dishes on the table and we started nibbling at them. How do you feel? Depressed. Have you been resting? Have you been eating? I've been eating the stuff left in the fridge. Otherwise, I've been either sleeping or staring at the ceiling. It had been 3 days. I'd just been laying down since then. Woke up every now and then in my shallow sleep, but I didn't feel like getting up or thinking. I felt like I'd just been floating the whole time. My appetite was gone, but I came back with the smell of the food Kasei brought. It came back. I wasn't able to think of anything to talk to Kasei about, so I just ate silently. I got a call from Mion-san yesterday. She was saying she called you a few times, but you never got through. The moment I heard Mion's name, I felt my wounds throb. But I didn't stop Kasei, who continued. Because you paid up, the family decided to close the matter. You will be officially withdrawn from the academy. And transferred to the school in Okonomiya. They finally acknowledged my right to make my own decisions, huh? Indeed. They said you could live as yourself now, under a few conditions. You will stay away from Hinamizawa. You won't pretend to be Mion Sonozaki. You won't show up in public spaces, and so this means, in exchange for acknowledging me, they don't want me to hang around. That's correct. Of course, it's only temporary, until things cool down. There is no set duration, but I think you should stay inconspicuous at least until the end of the year. It'd be good enough just to live in Okonomiya quietly. The way I was before. Kase put on a sad smile. I smiled back at him likewise. Before the conversation ended, I should ask him what I wanted to know. Oops. Oh, I thought that ended there. How is Satoshi-kun doing? I wish that Kase-kun would assure me of his safety right away. But he didn't answer like that. Kasai? Is he alright? Shion-san? Kase put his chopsticks down. The family wants you to forget about him. What? Shion-san? I don't want to get in an argument with you, so I will not get into details. I'm only relaying what the family wants. What are you talking about? What the details, Sakasai? Kasai pretended as though he didn't hear me and started eating again. I'd never seen him so stubborn like this. Sonozaki family had been using the Hojo family as a scapegoat. They must have concluded that Sonozaki shouldn't be in love with a Hojo. Therefore, I didn't like that. Sako is a friend of Mion's at school. Would it be okay if Satoshi-kun and I were the same gender? Anyway, if I did something conspicuous again, they might do something to him for real. I was wondering why it was a problem for Shion to be with Satoshi when Satoko is with Mion totally fine. I guess it's not, but yeah, she's right. It's probably because of genders. Just like they forced me to remove my own fingernails, Sosaki family wouldn't hesitate. They torture him if need be. Maybe if I really loved him, I should stay away. Toshikun won't show up in Okonomiya unless he rejoins the Hinamizawa fighters. And how to pretend to be Mion if I wanted to go to Hinamizawa, but I don't think she'd cooperate with me. Even if she did, it'd be sometime down the road, even if they told me not to see him. I already had no means of doing that again. Oh wait, Mion gave me his number a while ago. I could call him, maybe ask to meet him in secrecy. But if I got caught again, they won't cut me any slack. Should I risk it? The hell did I even want from Satoshi-kun? Kasai, can I be alone for a moment? Kasai started putting away his food in a rush, assuming I wanted him to leave. Oh no, that's not what I meant. Take your time and finish your food. Just want to take a walk. You can't lock this place up if I don't step out with you. Kasai quickly put away his meal and followed me out. Just to be clear, I'm not going to see Satoshi-kun, alright? I see. Turned around and started walking. The destination was rather pathetic. The toy store that had sold the giant teddy bear. I couldn't deny that it was to some extent expecting Satoshi-kun to pass by here. Couldn't stop myself from looking at the faces of passerby who resembled him. I looked into the store window. The teddy bear was gone. Congrats, Satoshi-kun. Looks like you were able to buy it. His evil aunt had died and his wicked uncle was living with his mistress. Satoshi-kun had succeeded in fulfilling his duty as a big brother by buying his little sister the huge teddy bear. There was nobody left to hurt him. He was free from his tiresome efforts. He was completely free from pain. For a time, he'd retrieve his smile. He'd go back to being the Satoshi-kun I love. But I wouldn't be there with him. I heard a car honking. Didn't think it was honking at me first, but I was so persistent that I had to look up. The person waving at me from the car was Irie. He was waving at me all carefree, oblivious to my feelings. Sonozaki-san, long time no see. Oh, you're meeting with the Hojo-san? No, I'm not. I know he looks into the store window all the time. Assumed you were expecting him to be here or something. No, I was just passing by. Looks like he was able to buy the teddy bear. Irie seemed to know about the teddy bear as well. He smiled upon seeing it empty display space. Yesterday was Satoshi-chan's birthday. He must have celebrated with that teddy bear. He doesn't have to work so hard anymore, huh? Indeed. Did he turn in his resignation at the Hinamizawa fighters? Oh, does that even exist? I never received one. Did you, Sonozaki-san? Hahaha, no I didn't. So that means he still belongs to the team. I think he'll be back after things have settled down. So I know he'll be sad if he doesn't see you there. Irie teased me. He's a grown-up after all. He must have been trying to sound optimistic because he knew I was feeling a bit down. You can come back to the team anytime you want. It might as well be empty without you. I'm thinking of providing you with a maid costume once you're back. I burst into laughter. He sure hasn't changed. Oh, I almost forgot. I can tell you my name now. Sorry, coach. I was lying about my identity. I'm not Mion. I'm her twin sister, Shion. Been pretending to be her for a few reasons. What? You're Mion's twin sister? He was totally taken aback. I burst into laughter again. Yes, I'm Shion Sonozaki. I'm forced to live quietly because my grandmother hates me though. Never realized. Mion had a twin sister. Oh, he's about to go crazy. Why do you have to ruin the scene? Haha, same here. Suddenly a loud voice interrupted us. The voice sounded mean and greasy, unlike Irie's. It was him, Oishi. Hello, Dr. Irie. Thank you for your cooperation last night. Not mentioned, it wasn't of much help. They were just going through the motions. It was obvious that they hated each other. Irie whispered to me, I'm leaving now. You want to get in my car? I can drive you home. Irie figured that Oishi was after me, so he was giving me a chance to slip away. Looking at Oishi's face, it was clear that his focus was on me, not on Irie. He probably intended to interrogate me until my testimony broke. I was sure I could talk my way out of it, but it'd just be a waste of time. Alright, coach, let's get going. Are you two going somewhere together? Yes, we're on our way to get some stuff for the team. We have to drop a few places, so will you excuse us? Irie bowed, I followed suit. I had to admit how good he was at lying. He's a grown-up after all. Oishi seemed to know it was a lie. But he didn't have a warrant, so he couldn't stop us. I moved to get into Irie's car. How are your wounds, Shion Sanzaki-san? I gasped when I heard that. My left hand was bandaged. It was unsightly, so I'd kept it in my pocket. There was no way Oishi-san could have been able to see it. They'll heal with no problem if they don't get infected. I tore my fingernails off a couple of times myself when I was a kid, but looks like they look beautiful now, don't they? Men's fingernails shouldn't look beautiful. That gives me the creeps. Oishi scratched his head and chuckled. He's supposed to be the one of the best cops at Okonomiya PD, and he knows about all the underground activities in the region. He must have heard about my payment from somewhere. Still, that happened in the secret basement of Sozaki main house. Couldn't understand the guy's sources. Thank you for your kind words. We'll be going now. Excuse us? Shion Sozaki-san, why don't we get coffees together sometime? What? What, are you hitting on me? If you'd like. Sorry, time flies. I can't waste any of the precious time on something that doesn't interest me. You got me there. How about this then? You can leave any time if you get bored of talking to me. I won't stop you. How does that sound? I don't mind talking, but I won't talk. I don't mind you talking, but I won't talk back. That we could call it a conversation. Yes, that'd be fine. You can just listen, and I'll talk. You can just listen to an old man ramble while sipping on a cup of coffee. He was being strangely persistent. It didn't look like he was trying to poke a hole in my statement. What would he be talking about? But a bit curious, even though I was still skeptical. Coach, I think I'll go with the old man instead. I won't do that. It's never worth going with Oishi. Guy, they're right that he's Shiosama's, what's it called, envoy, whatever, because he calls disaster like nothing else. I mean, Shion-san? I winked at him and told him not to worry. Irie didn't insist. He got his car and drove off. Oishi backed his car up so I could get in. I hopped in the back seat since I didn't want to sit next to him. Are we really going to a cafe? If you could direct me to one that with no connection to your family, that'd be great. Why don't you just take me to the station then? Oishi carefully checked for upcoming traffic and then started driving. Oishi took me to the police station as I thought he might. If he had taken me to a nice cafe, he would have scored some points. But whatever. I thought it'd be more convenient if we came here. You can still go home if you get bored. Try your best not to bore me then. Do you want me to get into the station, hand in hand with you? Oishi chuckled and got out of the car. He escorted me inside the station. He thought he'd take me into the interrogation room, but instead he took me to an office of the investigation division. Officers in both suits and uniforms were working on the desk, answering phones. There was a desk with a plate that said section manager, and nearby there were couches and a table. Oishi told me to sit at a couch and started making some instant coffee. I'd never been to the part of the police station, and I looked around curiously. Oh, you think I'd take you to the interrogation room? Oishi brought over a tray with coffee cups on it. You treated me better than I expected. I thought you'd whip me or something. My tastes don't run that way. So, but you wanted to talk to me. Alright, I'll cut to the chase. Are you in love with Satoshi Hojo-san? Ah? It's getting boring already. I'm going home. Okay, please forget that. Hiroshi must have known why I had to remove my fingernails. He wasn't trying to confirm that I liked Satoshi-kun. What he was really saying was that he knew already. I already talked to Detective Kumaga about Satoshi-kun's alibi that day. Of course, I read Kumagai-kun's report. I know you were with him. So I'll just repeat the same statement no matter how many times you ask. Don't think you can poke holes in it. No, that's not what I want. You're a smart person. I know that wouldn't work for you. I wonder what you're after. You're wasting your time if you want information on Satoshi-kun. There's nothing more to talk about. This is boring me after all. I'm going home. Since that was our agreement. Excuse me. I got off the couch. Shion-san, I did want to get Satoshi-kun's alibi from you. I admit it. Then that's it. It's boring. I'm going home. Turned around and started walking. Oishi didn't get anxious, but instead spoke a little louder. But Shion-san, what I wanted to ask you isn't his alibi for yesterday, not the day of the murder. His alibi for yesterday? Why? What does it have to do with his aunt's death? Because Satoshi-kun has been missing since then. What? Didn't you know that he went missing? Couldn't say anything, but her expression answered Oishi's question anyway. What's going on? Missing? What? Why don't you take a seat? What do you mean Satoshi-kun has gone missing? What the hell? We only know one thing for sure. We withdrew all his savings at the ATM in the Okonomiya post office before 3 p.m. yesterday. We don't know his whereabouts after that. I knew why he withdrew the money. He went to buy Satoko-chan's birthday present. Yes, he definitely bought the teddy bear yesterday. This is just my guess, but I think he skipped town with that money. I mean, he used the money to run away. That's stupid. He was saying to buy Satoko-san's birthday present, not a big expensive teddy bear from a toy store. He'd never used that money to skip town. Yes, the most expensive teddy bear in this toy store was sold. We can confirm that it was Satoshi-kun who bought it. Why don't you ask the clerk? Satoshi-kun and I reserved that bear together. Oh, had a bad feeling. The old man who was watching the store was sleeping when we were there. He looked very senile. Maybe he was also watching the store that day. Even though Satoshi-kun bought the bear, he didn't remember. Oishi put a wry smile. It looked like he'd already tried to question that old man. Anyway, it's Satoshi-kun who bought the bear. He must have been saved just enough to buy it. So shouldn't have been able to run away after that. That's nonsense. Alright, let's say that he really did buy the teddy bear. Then why didn't he come home with it? At that point, I felt as though my heart was turned to ice. Satoshi-kun worked hard to buy that teddy bear, even though he was under extreme mental and physical stress. After all that, he finally managed to buy it. It's unthinkable that somebody else just showed up and... Oh, I just accidentally skipped that sentence, didn't I? Good job, me. Someone else showed up and bought the same teddy bear. Teddy bear was gone because Satoshi-kun bought it. Nobody else. But if so, Satoshi-kun should have given it to Satoko. But though he bought a present for her, he didn't come home. He didn't come home? That wasn't possible. He should have gone straight home with that teddy bear. He wouldn't think of running away after buying that teddy bear. Even though Satoshi-kun wanted to run away from the police, he'd never leave without giving Satoko her present. Anyway, it must have been Satoshi-kun who bought that teddy bear. I can say that with 100% certainty. The question was, why didn't he bring it home? That teddy bear was huge. It wouldn't fit in a basket or bicycle. He might have bought some straps to tie to his bike. He wouldn't have thought of running away on that wobbly bicycle like that. He necessarily had to go home after buying the teddy bear from the store after withdrawing the money. Nothing could have happened when he was going between the ATMs and the toy store. It was impossible. Nobody else could have possibly bought that teddy bear. Never. Teddy bear had been sitting there in the showcase until that day. Everybody I could see it when they passed by, but nobody wanted it. It's impossible that it couldn't have been somebody else. There should be no question that he went to the toy store after he withdrew the money. What about the route between the toy store and his home? There shouldn't be any question about that either. He shouldn't have been able to do anything about that huge toy. He shouldn't even have thought of making a stop on the way. He must have headed home. Right after he bought the teddy bear. But nobody saw him after that. It was simple then. Toshikun went missing on his way home from the toy store. He went missing? What did that mean? I'm sure he killed his aunt. He's not that shrewd. Maybe he couldn't bear the pressure from the police. Was he resigned to the idea that the police were going to arrest him soon, regardless of my help? Did he decide to run away? Did he think that he should disappear until things cool down rather than get arrested? That was definitely impossible. It was impossible that he came to the conclusion on the way from the toy store. Even if he did, he would have waited until he gave Satoko her birthday present. Satoshi-kun loved Satoko. He wouldn't have spoiled her like that. But anyway, he always tried to make be a good brother for her. So he'd never disappear before going home. Felt as though the ice was cutting through my heart, expanding the frost. Satoshi-kun didn't disappear by his own will. The answer was simple. Satoshi-kun was disappeared by somebody else as well. Was Satoshi-kun eliminated? Please, stupid old man. I thought I could shake off the frost in my heart. I laughed loudly enough. Kept laughing until it happened. Kept laughing and laughing. All the cops in the room stared at me. They thought I'd gone crazy. I mean, I didn't care what they thought. Kept laughing until it turned into a cough. Finished laughing and took a sip of lukewarm coffee. Felt as though the frost in my heart had spread all throughout my guts. Was chilled to the bone. I was freezing. My fingers shook as I held the coffee cup. Shion-san, please listen to me without interrupting. What I'm about to tell you is only a hypothesis. It's all just a theory. You might start laughing in the middle because it may sound ridiculous. But I want you to hear me out. Can you do that? Whatever, just talk. I was feeling far too cold. My teeth were chattering. I felt as though my brain had frozen as well. Lost my ability to think. I couldn't do anything by myself. I could only do as Oishi told me. What he was going to tell me might be the worst possible theory, but I had to listen to it. I know that Satoshi-kun and Satoko-san's aunt was abusing them, especially Satoko-san. In my opinion, it's normal that Satoshi-kun started thinking about murdering his aunt, because he was just a human being. Not to deny that Satoshi-kun murdered her, but what Oishi-kun was saying was true. I couldn't deny his hypothesis right away, just kept silent. It is only a hypothesis, alright? Please don't be upset. And no interruptions. Agreed? I know. Just go on. So Kojo planned the murder of his aunt and executed it. We have no proof, okay? It's all theoretical. Alright, I heard. Just keep talking. I'll switch to the subject now. Shion-san, you were forbidden from having a relationship with Satoko-kun, weren't you? They told you to stay away from him, correct? I believe the reason behind that is that not that your family hated the Hojos, but they didn't like the fact that you were involved with the murder suspect. That is actually possible. After all, when I pretended to be Mion, I already had a connection with Satoshi-kun. Before anyone else knew it, it was Shion who was spending time around him. I could have been accused when I was helping out with Himizawa fighters. The relationship between the Hojos and the Sonozakis was the problem. It wouldn't be difficult for the Sonozaki family to know that Satoshi-kun murdered his aunt, if it happened in Hinamizawa. Maybe one of them even saw the murder. The Sonozaki family didn't like that, was in love with the murderer, they decided to step in. Also, you're known to not get up easily, aren't you? Which means even if the Sonozaki family threatened you, ripped your nails, you still wouldn't cut ties with Satoshi-kun, would you? Couldn't deny that. I lost most of my means to access Mizawa, so my ties to Satoshi-kun were essentially cut through. But I still knew Satoshi-kun's phone number and expected him to rejoin the Hinamizawa fighters eventually. I believe your family knew that a few threats would never be enough for you to break ties with Satoshi-kun. They could threaten you all they liked to no avail. Their only option would be to do something about the other person, wouldn't it? What do you mean, do something? What would they do? What? What? If threatening me was useless, then they do something about Satoshi-kun. What would they have done? If they pulled something they wouldn't, then wouldn't that interrupt his path from the toy store to go home? Toy store to home. Toy store to X to home. What's X? What is X? X marks the spot where his path was interrupted. But when interrupted, what interrupted it? Why couldn't Satoshi-kun make it home from the toy store if something interrupted him? Why? What's X? X. Ran out of air, became dizzy, and then collapsed. Floor felt cold. Felt no pain, had fallen to the floor like a plastic doll. Oishi and some others rushed over to help me up. This is one of the things I hate about Oishi. He is a bastard. But to a degree, I'm okay with that. But the way he pushes people to the brink mentally is just so shitty. Calm down, Shion-san. We're not certain Satoshi-kun was killed yet. You're not certain he was killed. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't you know about the torture room where they forced me to rip off my fingernails? Don't you know what they say there are prison cells and a well for disposing of corpses in the back? If the Sonozaki family wants to eliminate somebody, they definitely kill them in the torture room and dump the body down there. You're not certain? Are you dumb? Is your brain made of tofu? If I were in the hack's position, I'd kill him for sure. I wouldn't let him get away. I would kill him. Then the hack would definitely kill him. Shion-san, please calm down. This is unconfirmed, but I have information that somebody witnessed a young runaway male at Nagoya Station who took a train from here to Tokyo. The clothes don't match, but it is possible that he changed what he was wearing to hide from the police. It is possible that it was him. Is he alive? Is he? That is a theory, but let me go on. Twin Sister Mion is the closest person to Oreo Sonozaki, correct? I assume that Mion-san stopped Oreo when she suggested murdering Satoshi-kun fervently. Mion? That was possible. She could have tried to calm things down out of pity for me. That idiot was always indecisive. She should have been clear on it if she wanted to save him or not. But she probably seemed vague about that. She must have persuaded the hack to reduce the punishment to banishment instead of death, just to avoid feeling guilty. I believe the Sozaki family contacted Satoshi-kun. They probably told him that they couldn't cover up the murder, thought he would disappear somewhere far away. They forced him to be more accurate. Satoshi-kun would have rejected that. He would never leave Satoko behind. I agree with you. Satoshi-kun had worked at places like Mion-san referred him to, wasn't he? So the family knew that he had enough money for a getaway, but he'd never use it to anything but buying that teddy bear. You're right. He must have gone straight for the toy store after he withdrew the money. But what if the teddy bear was already sold when he got there? That would have been a very desperate situation. He would have been worked so hard, while his aunt abused him and worked at many different jobs. The money was worth all the pain. He went to the toy store with the money in order to buy the beloved sister a present. It was the only purpose for the money. He must have looked for a teddy bear as he'd always come. But it was gone. He wouldn't have gone into a panic right away, because he was always so optimistic. He might have gone to the store. He might have thought the store was wrapping the gift for him, because he told them that he'd pick it up that day. He must have gone to the store joyously. I couldn't guess exactly what happened next. My heart would tear up if I even tried imagining it. Anyway, why didn't they have it? Why did they have it, even though he had reserved it? Did the old man understand the situation, or was he just zoning out? Maybe it would have been the same even if it wasn't the old man who was at the store at the time. If a bunch of fierce-looking subordinates from the Sonozaki family went in, showed them the money, nobody could have rejected. Toshikun must have sunk into silence. No matter how hard he contemplated, the teddy bear was gone. He probably never even considered his dream might be taken away. He must have been wobbling on his way home in sorrow, leaning on the telephone poles every now and then. It was the day he wanted Satoko to be happy the most. He couldn't get the present he wanted the most. He probably didn't think of getting another gift, because it was unimaginable that he couldn't get the giant teddy bear. He must have imagined how Satoko would react when she found out he had no present for her. He must have looked unbelievably sad and empty. The money he'd been saving meant nothing anymore. Toshikun never cried, even in his toughest moments. Did he even know how to cry? It was always Satoko who was crying. So Satoshi-kun never learned how to cry. He grew up that way. Did you know? People shed sadness from their hearts with tears. Satoshi-kun wasn't even allowed to do that. Even though his heart was filled with sorrow, he couldn't let it out. You insisted he wouldn't leave his Sadako-san behind, didn't you? But think. What if the Sonozaki family told him that they'd look after her after his disappearance? After Satoshi-kun found the teddy bear was gone, all he had left were some crumpled bills. The family told him it was just a matter of time before the police got him. They told him to run away. They said they'd take care of Satoko. Satoshi-kun didn't feel like seeing his sister. He wandered and found himself at Okonomiya Station. He must have been apologizing to Satoko so many times in his mind. He swore to come back someday. He headed to Nagoya, and then to Tokyo. But that meant he's alive. He's alive. I should be able to see him again someday. He must be coming back, so I'll definitely see him again. I assume that Sonozaki family set up some place for him to stay. Toshikun must be gone there. So he's safe. He's coming back someday, right? Oisha looked up at the ceiling and stretched. He didn't answer me. On June 24th, 1982, Satoko Hojo went missing. There is still a possibility that he ran away, as he was the prime suspect of the murder that happened on the 20th of the same month. Allegedly, someone resembling him had been seen at the Nagoya station, embarking on a train heading to Tokyo. The truth is unknown. No one has seen him since. As a matter of fact, no one has ever even knows if he's still alive. Chapter end? Higurashi when they cry Kai. I got a feeling now that we've done this, we're gonna skip a year. And we're gonna go to the year where Keiichi arrives. Notebook page 34. The information that Satoshi-kun might have headed to Tokyo hadn't been verified. It started as follows. A young man came to the lost and found window looking for his wallet. The station employee asked him to write down his name on the form. Then the young man started writing Hojo as his name, but he stopped in the middle, crumped the form, and wrote a totally different another form. Another station employee witnessed a similar-looking young man rushing into the train heading to Tokyo. The employee from Lost and Found and the other employee who was at the platform talked about the suspicious young man in the locker room. That was all. The wallet of the man named Hojo was never reported or as found or lost in the office. Interesting. At first I thought Oishi's theory that Sonozaki family banished Satoshi-kun from Hirasawa and looked after Satoko in return was bogus. But thinking about it now, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. After all, Satoko Hojo started living with Rika Furude after Satoshi-kun's disappearance. Rika Furude isn't just a regular girl. She was the head of the Furude family, one of the three families. The head of the Kimiyoshi family is Rika Furude's guardian. The Sonozaki family probably couldn't step in, due to having been officially opposed to the Hojo's family. But Satoko Hojo is in the custody of the three families now. Even though the Hojo family was severely ostracized during the dam conflict, Satoko Hojo was now under protection. It seemed that as though only Satoko was exempt from the blame. Why was she spared even though Satoshi-kun wasn't? That's it. Okay, I'm going to call it here. I'm pretty sure this is one of the longest chapters. So next time, tomorrow, we're probably doing 8, 9, 10. And then time after that, 11, 12, 13. I think it's 13 chapters. Maybe it's 14. Well, either way, even if it's 14, I actually have more time the next Saturday. So I may even be able to just go for it. We'll see. That being said, I'm going to call it here. Thank you for watching. And yeah. Let me just see if I'm right. Nope, that's all. All right, calling it here. See you all next time.